you thought I was done, bless your heart, but I'm still living rent-free, it's a work of art. Call me daddy, call me nut, call me the goat. You're paddling upstream while I'm running this boat. You say, I don't care, yet you're glued to the screen, caught up in my glow while you stay unseen. Your shade's like a breeze, it's barely a draft. Meanwhile, I'm the Picasso of roasting your ass. You say you're over me, oh how cute, but here I am, still the star of your loop. You're my biggest fans, don't even deny, so grab some popcorn when daddy goes live. Call me daddy, yeah, shout it loud. King of your thoughts, I'm making you proud. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, headline act. Your background noise, and that's just a fact. Let's face the score. You hate that you love me, but you keep wanting more. You're like a dog chasing cars, you don't know why. But here you are, barking while I touch the sky. Your comments are gold, such comedy gold. Who hurt you? Oh wait, it's me, I'm told. You're keeping tabs like an unpaid intern while I'm cashing checks. When will you learn? Your timeline's a shrine to every move I make. I'd say thanks, but you're a nasty skank. Oh, Shizzy's washed up. Yeah, sure, Jan, yet here I am, the centerpiece of your plan. You hate watch my stream like it's Oscar night, but guess what, kiddos? I'm still shining bright. Call me daddy. Send in your bread. I'm still rent-free in your effing head. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy on your brain. I'm your mental landlord, you can't complain. Let's keep it real. You hate that I'm winning, but you love how it feels. Oh, I'm sorry, did I break your streak? You tried to ignore me for like half a week, but daddy's too spicy, you can't look away. I'm the train wreck you need every single day. So while you're out there with your plastic clout, I'm here sipping coffee watching you freak out. You're irrelevant, wow, what a take. Now go rewatch my vids while I count how much I make. I count how much I make. Call me daddy, yeah, own it now. I'm reading your brain and you don't know how. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, let's set the bar. I'm the constellation, you're a burned out star. Embrace your role, cause I'm the main character. You're just an old ragged ass, burned out troll. So that's your bedtime story, kids tucked in sweet and snug. Shizzy Daddy's forever, you lose and you're stuck in the mud. Now say goodnight to Papa Nut, your mental plane. Oh wait, you will see me tomorrow's. Agenda will see me tomorrow, same obsession, same effing thing.
Ooh, yeah. How are you guys doing tonight, man? Oh, man. I hope that my audio is okay. I've been doing some adjustments on it. If it sounds a little too loud, let me know by giving me a thumbs down. If it sounds good, give me a thumbs up. Or if it needs to go louder, then give me 2 thumbs up. I hope you're doing good, everybody. Man, oh man, oh man. We'll see here in just a second because it takes a little while for it to come through. Hey, how you doing? Also, congratulations, Sarcastic. That is awesome. Cancer free. I love it. That is great news. That is great, great, great news. So glad to hear that. Man, oh man. Cool. So the audio is good. That's what I was hoping for. Man, oh man. Thank you, Brenda. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Yeah, that. I mean, that you know what that deserves? That deserves a nice, just good old happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, Brenda. Yo, yo, yo.
Oh my, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. It is your day. Happy birthday to you.
There we go, man. That you deserve that. You deserved a good bit of love right there on that one. Well, we're back. Where do you want the thumbs, Shizzy? You sure you want to? Well, only 2 if it's not loud enough. I mean, come on. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like it. Hey, how you doing? No, I understand that there's some tornadoes happening in your neck of the woods. No worries. No worries. I understand if you have to leave suddenly. Just be safe wherever you're at. Man, oh man, that's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So, as a lot of you know, I will be heading out of town tomorrow. So I won't be doing a stream in the morning. won't be on FNL that I know of. I might pop in if I'm able to. It just depends because I'm doing a bunch of work on a remodel. Let's put it that way. So it's gonna be a busy week next week and all the way up until Memorial Day weekend. So hopefully I'll be back in town later that week, later Memorial Day weekend. I'm hoping that's the plan, but I do have videos that will be coming out every single day. There will be just an open letter that comes out every day. And then there's also going to be me probably just driving down the interstate and we'll see how that works out. That's always crazy. I've done one of those before and they are a blast. Yeah, I know. You'll see me every so often. Friday and probably Saturday, I'll probably just be streaming from my phone. So, you construction worker in your other life? No. I'm a researcher. I work for a law firm, so I do a lot of research. Is basically what I do. Answer the phones a lot too. But no, I can do quite a bit of welding, woodworking, shit like that. So electrical, and I've got some project that I'm working on. So I'll be busy. Yeah, my bags are packed and I'm ready to go. So we don't get the Shizzy show. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I will be like I said, you'll see some streams while I'm traveling. I'm moving some furniture and crap like that. So it's just going to be just a busy week next weekend. So I don't know if I have enough time to stream or if I'll even feel like it after I get done with my days. So it'll be good. Good to see you, Sherlyn. It's good to see you. Good to see you. Well, it's going to be a beautiful thing. But let's get back into where we left off yesterday. A demand for all sorts of things. Yeah, my wife always keeps me in high demand. So as you guys know, I've been rewatching the Eckwards v. Owens in the trial. That sort of like took a lot of time to go back over some of these court documents, a lot of things that were said, a lot of the craziness that happened. And this trial is like one of the craziest things that I've seen in a while. Luckily it's just a single day, but there's so much to unpack in all of this. And right now I think, yeah, there we go.
We have a media microphone on the podium, correct?
There we go.
Okay, all right. When you're ready.
Good morning, Ms. Owens.
Good morning.
You understand that you're currently under oath and must testify truthfully today, correct?
Correct.
You understand the difference
All right, so this is the cross-examination. It's kind of like having herpes. It would be really strange if he's not around all the time.
between the truth and the lie, right?
Obviously, yes.
And you would agree with me that fabricating or doctoring evidence is dishonest and unreasonable behavior, right?
Right.
And you're aware that lying under oath is a crime in the state of Arizona, correct?
Correct.
And the reason I'm asking you these questions, Ms. Owens, is because I've cross-examined you before, right?
Right.
I cross-examined you in the injunction against harassment offenses on November 2nd of 2020, right?
Right.
And during this hearing, you'd recall that I gave you the opportunity to correct the record and come clean about any false information or testimony you may have provided, right?
Right.
And you told me you had nothing to correct, right?
Correct.
And then you proceeded to lie to the court.
Objection, argumentative, Your Honor.
Sustained.
You testified that you were 100% pregnant on November 2nd, correct?
Correct.
And you testified that you were 24 weeks pregnant specifically.
Correct.
I'd like you to take a look
Ooh.
at your exhibit A11, please.
Or exhibit A11.
Not sure.
She's got them in front. I can see. Yeah.
So this part is pretty important. It's kind of like she doesn't understand that she's saying that there's little to no fetal tissue at this point in time whenever she's testifying that she was 100% pregnant at this particular time.
Ms. Owens, this appointment that you attended at Mom Doc on November 14th of 2023 was 12 days after I cross-examined, right?
Correct.
And during that cross-examination, I pointed out that you had no legitimate medical records to support the pregnancy, right?
I mean, you said that, but I don't agree with it. No.
At this appointment, Ms. Owens, it was confirmed that you were not pregnant, correct?
Correct.
These Mom Doc records also indicate that you were diagnosed with PCOS, polycystic ovarian, right?
I've had that since I was 17. Yes.
Okay. And you'll recall at the hearing on November 2nd, specifically questioned you about any physical health diagnosis that you had, right?
I don't remember, but
And it's not me that's causing the problem with the audio. It's that the microphone is only picking up portions of what she's saying. Could just be a bad microphone placement. There was nothing I could do to get audio that just wasn't there. So it's the best we can get.
if you say so, then yes.
You failed.
Now what you can't see here is, and if you watch her closely, you're going to see her eyes shifting over this direction over here. Watch, she's going to be looking in this direction quite a bit, because where that lady is at, basically her line of sight, and it's pretty hard to tell from this camera view, but her line of sight is somewhere about here is where the lady is. Now, whenever you see her looking over this way, she's looking over at Gingras, and you'll see her eyes shift over there every time that she starts lying, because she's looking at him. Now, at some point, they actually zoomed out the they zoomed out the camera. They finally got the camera focused back out where it wasn't just focused on her, and it was focused on the lady that's speaking. And whenever they do that, they're going to finally come over and point out to her that she's not looking at her, that she keeps looking at Gingras, which is coaching her. And you'll actually see him coaching her.
Testified that you had PCOS, right?
I can't say one way or the other if I did or didn't. I'll take your word for it, but it's not something that I live with daily.
You also failed to tell me that in 2016, Doctors Chan and Yi diagnosed you with cancer and apparently removed one of your ovaries.
They did not.
Okay. So as you sit here today, you're denying that.
I will absolutely deny that happened.
Now, per what you reported, what you self-reported to the Mom Doctor, they listed a spontaneous abortion date of August 12th of 2023 at 8 weeks pregnant, correct?
They listed a lot of things that were inaccurate here. I never told them that I had an abortion that date.
Okay, well, spontaneous abortion, if I were to tell you, is a miscarriage. Would you agree with me that they listed a miscarriage date of August 12th of 2023 at 8 weeks pregnant?
Yes, but I also never was pregnant in 2019, so I don't know where that came from.
And Ms. Owens, based on what you know about pregnancy, as someone who's allegedly been pregnant 3 or 4 times in the past,
Ooh,
miscarried at 8 weeks pregnant, that wouldn't line up with your alleged conception date with Mr. Eckert, would it?
I don't know, and I'm telling you, I never told them that I was 8 weeks pregnant and lost that on August 12th.
In your Mom Doc record, also in your deposition, self-reported that you passed 2 sacks which appeared to have a membrane, correct?
Correct.
I'd like you to take a look at what we marked as Exhibit 49, your deposition transcript. And Ms. Owens, you recall sitting for a deposition on March 1st of 2024, correct?
Correct.
And your counsel at the time following that deposition was provided with a copy of this transcript as well as you, correct?
Correct.
And you didn't take any opportunity to correct this transcript.
I actually didn't see it until you guys sent it to us. My former counsel never showed this to me. So
Okay. Well, you're aware.
doesn't matter. You signed off on it. Hey, how you doing, Tammy's cuz? How you doing? Good to see you. I have my favorites. Good to see you.
That this has been marked as a copy of your deposition transcript for March 1st of 2024, correct?
correct.
And this is a true and accurate copy of the transcript that you received, correct?
From your office, yes. I did not get one prior to that.
I move the submission of Exhibit 49, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection.
Is that A or B, counsel? I apologize.
I guess it would be, Your Honor.
B 49 is received.
Ms. Owens, during your deposition, specifically on page 149, lines 18 through 21, you testified that you started spotting, meaning you were having a light period in August or September, correct?
I wasn't having a light period. I didn't end up getting a period until November.
Well, in your
I
deposition,
said light spotting, but
Light spotting.
I said light spotting, but that wasn't a period.
Also, you know, I don't, you know, a lot of you ladies can confirm on this, but whenever you're anorexic, you don't have a natural period, and it can be very spotty and not normal. But you know, I don't know, because I'm not a woman. I don't have those kinds of issues. You can see her head turn to green every once in a while. Yeah. And also she is looking down right now at the computer screen. So you can tell when she's looking at the computer screen, when she's looking at the lady, which if you follow her eyesight it would hit about here whenever she's talking. Then you'll see her glance over every so often. Hey, Ann, how you doing? Good to see you.
in your deposition, page 151, line 24, you claim you passed the 2 sacks, which appeared to have a membrane in September or October, correct?
Correct.
But in the mom doc records, you claim you passed the 2 sacks a few weeks after your alleged ultrasound at Planned Parenthood, right?
Several weeks after.
There's an inconsistency there, right?
Right. I wasn't sure what the date was.
No OBGYN or qualified medical professional conducted an ultrasound, performed a physical examination, or performed a blood test to confirm your alleged pregnancy on or before August 1st of 2023, right?
Wrong.
Okay, let's
Oh, yeah. She's just digging in.
talk about that. I suspected you would answer that this way. You claim that you had an alleged ultrasound at Planned Parenthood, Southern California, correct?
Correct.
And you testified during your deposition that the alleged ultrasound at Planned Parenthood was in Mission Viejo, California on July 7th of 2023,
Mhm.
right?
I did say it was there. That's where I was staying at the time. I'm in Mission Viejo.
All being examined by your attorney, Mr. Ingris, you said that you went to Planned Parenthood under a fake name, right?
Right.
But you didn't bother to provide our office with the alleged name that you went to Planned Parenthood under,
Hey,
right?
Libby,
Right.
good to see you.
And you knew that we were seeking your records from Planned Parenthood specifically because of the alleged ultrasound you had there, right?
Right.
So wouldn't it have made sense to provide our office with a copy or the name that you allegedly went to Planned Parenthood under?
I felt like the whole purpose of going to Planned Parenthood is to remain anonymous, and that's one of my protections.
Mm. See, this is where it got really confusing for me, because I mean, I don't know about these kinds of things. Just don't. How you doing? So I don't know about these kinds of things, but I would think that if you're trying to file suit against somebody, you would want to have proof and be able to get that information and say, this was the date, this was the time, this is the name that I went under. Can you provide me with that information? I mean, it would, you know, even if you went under an anonymous name, say you went under the name John Smith or Jane Smith in her case. Well, who knows? She might have used something else. But you show up there and you say, hey, you know, this was the name I used on this particular date. I need to get those records. Can you provide those for me? No, none of that. None of that. Oh my God, the vocal fry. Yeah, it's bad. She's really bad with the vocal fry.
I want you to take a look at Exhibit 28. Is this a true and accurate picture of the ultrasound claim you received at Planned Parenthood in California in July of 2023?
That looks like it, yes.
And move to Exhibit 28, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection.
And this right here is going to burn her so bad. When your wife and They required an ID before we could see a doctor. Yeah, but you have to understand that she went on like a Sunday, and it's going to come out later. You just have to listen for it. But she wasn't actually at Mission Viejo, whatever. She was at one in Los Angeles. And which one was it in Los Angeles? Because the ones in Los Angeles, guess what? They're all closed on Sunday also. So her date was wrong. And she was wanting to tell everybody, no, this was the date that I was there. I guarantee it. And they saw me.
P28's received.
And Ms. Owens, this ultrasound image does not say Planned Parenthood. It says SMIL, I'll call SMILE for today, correct?
Correct.
Uh-huh.
And in your deposition, you admitted you altered this ultrasound picture to say SMILE instead of Planned Parenthood, right?
Correct.
And you admitted in your deposition to altering this picture on the Adobe Acrobat program at your house, right?
Correct.
Uh-huh.
During the deposition, you testified that the date listed here of July 7th of 2023 was correct and hadn't been edited by you, right?
Correct.
But you later admit that you lied about this July 7th ultrasound date, right?
Correct.
And you execute an affidavit on April 16th of 2024, claiming the correct date for this already doctored ultrasound is actually July 2nd of 2020, correct?
Correct.
So I want to get this straight, Ms. Owens. You initially claimed you had an ultrasound at Planned Parenthood on July 7th, which you doctored to say it was from SMILE, right?
Correct.
Then the story changes again, and you claim that the ultrasound image should actually be dated July 2nd of 2020, right?
Correct.
So you changed the date on the ultrasound from July 2nd to July 7th, correct?
Correct.
And you utilized this altered or fake ultrasound to try to convince Mr. Eckert and the court and the media that you were pregnant with Mr. Eckert's twins.
This was never submitted to the court.
You're aware that
She
Planned
just
Parenthood
said
has
it
no
was.
record of an ultrasound, correct?
Under my real name, yes, I'm aware.
And again,
What name did
established
you use?
didn't provide our office with the name of your that you allegedly went to Planned Parenthood under, correct?
Correct.
You never attended an appointment with Planned Parenthood. So
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. They have no record of
you did-
her showing up at all at any point in time.
This is a true and accurate copy of our request and response from Planned Parenthood regarding your records dated April 26th of 2024, correct?
And here's where it's going to go haywire for her.
Correct. I don't believe I've seen this, but I have no idea.
And counsel, I'm so sorry. I'll stop the clock like I've done for the others. We're going to give you a microphone because as I anticipated, there was a problem picking up.
Yeah, they're getting better audio over here. She claims she went on a Sunday. PP is closed on
We work with what we
Sundays.
have, right?
The date is
All right,
wrong.
go ahead. Thank you.
I'll ask that a question one more time, Your Honor. Ms. Owens, Exhibit 29 is a copy of our request and the response from Planned Parenthood regarding your records dated April 26th of 2024, correct?
Correct.
Move for the admission of Exhibit 29, Your Honor.
Objection?
No objection.
P29's received.
And while you've indicated today that you went to Planned Parenthood under a fake name, this letter actually indicates that you had scheduled an appointment for July 2nd, but that you failed to attend.
Correct.
It also indicates that the ultrasound image that you claimed was from Planned Parenthood was not from Planned Parenthood because it was not consistent with ultrasound images generated by their practice, right?
Not by the one in Mission Viejo. Correct.
Ms. Owens, these are yes or no questions. This document states that the ultrasound image you have claimed is from Planned Parenthood is not consistent with ultrasound images generated by their practice, right?
By that practice, but as they said, I could have been seen by another different entity.
Ms. Owens, you're well aware that this request covered all of Orange County and San Bernardino County.
It didn't cover Los Angeles, though.
Oh, Jesus.
Now you're saying you went to Planned Parenthood in Los Angeles.
Yes.
So you're telling us you went to
It's just like this right here is where it just got crazy. Oh no, it wasn't in Orange County. No, it wasn't in Mission Viejo. Yeah, it was actually in Los Angeles.
Planned Parenthood in Los Angeles on the day of trial today.
Yes,
Okay, when did you go to Planned Parenthood in Los Angeles?
exactly when I said I went,
When was that?
July 2nd.
Okay,
July 2nd. Well, let's see. But maybe we can roll back that calendar and look at July 2nd of, let's see, July 2, 2020. Let's see. It was let's see. July 2nd, 2020 would have been a Thursday. Now, if it was 2021, let's see, July of, because I'm having a hard time understanding her. July of 2021, the second would be a Friday. If it was July 2nd of 2022, it might be 2022 that she's saying, that would be a Saturday, and so on and so forth. 2023 would be a Saturday. If it's 20, yeah, that. So, and if it was the 7th, it would have been a Thursday in 2022. If it was 2021, and I'm just rolling it back here, July of 2021, that would have been a Wednesday. If it was 2020, that would have been a Tuesday. If she's saying July 2nd of 2020, that would be a Thursday. So
I'd like to go back to the 2 sacks you passed. So again, in your deposition, you claimed you passed them in September or October, right?
Yes,
But then you changed the date and claimed that you passed these 2 sacks on July 23rd of 2020, right?
right.
July 23rd.
And
No, that's
you
different.
actually had an appointment scheduled with Dr. McCool, who you claimed is your high-risk perinatologist, for July 24th of 2020,
Dr. McCool.
right?
Right, that I canceled days prior.
Okay, so you canceled that appointment,
Days prior.
and you rescheduled it to August 7th, right?
Yes, if that's the date that I did.
So wouldn't you agree with me that for someone who has had miscarriages in the past and who has an alleged high-risk pregnancy, it would be prudent to attend an in-person appointment shortly after passing 2 sacks?
Well, that's why I asked the doctors online.
Oh, and these are yes or no questions.
Now she looks over
I-
at
I'm-
You're looking at your
Gringus.
attorney, but you need
Who's
to look at
shaking-
the question from me.
Okay, can you ask the question again?
Wouldn't you agree
Busted.
that as someone who has a high-risk pregnancy that allegedly passed 2 sacks on July 23rd of 2023, it would have been important for you to see your high-risk perinatologist immediately after that happening?
Well, that's why I scheduled that's why I immediately contacted telemedicine. It was at
Telemedicine.
night.
You contacted a telemed provider instead of attending the appointment with your high-risk perinatologist.
It had already been canceled days prior.
That's wrong.
So you had 4 appointments scheduled with Dr. McCool that you never attended, right?
Correct.
And you intentionally failed to attend those appointments because all of those appointments would have resulted in a medical record that stated you were not pregnant, right?
Objection argumentative.
Sustained to the form of the question, but you can ask the question in a different way.
Nice.
I'll move on here. During the November 2nd hearing, you denied that the DNA test results.
Yeah. So there's a clear line of sight, and I'll just point this out. There's a clear line of sight between these two. They can see each other very clearly. Now what she's going to do, because at some point in time they realize that she can see him, like, even though she's standing here where she's sitting at, she can see him, and this young lady right here, she's going to move right over here and cut off that line of sight, because that way she can't see her attorney, which keeps feeding her questions. And if you watch what he starts doing right here. Just keep an eye on what he starts doing here. and the way that he starts acting, the motions that he starts making, all of that.
Came back with little to no fetal DNA, right?
What?
During the November 2nd
See him?
hearing,
I said that the test was,
the question is on. During the November 2nd hearing, you denied that the DNA test results came back with little to no fetal DNA. Ms. Owens, I see you continue.
no, I didn't. I never said it didn't.
Sam?
I said it came
I'm
back
confused.
inconclusive.
I'm confused about what date she's referring to. What,
November 2nd.
November 2nd hearing?
November 2nd. hearing.
Okay, again, before my time, so that's why I'm confused. I apologize.
Can you answer the question?
I said it was inconclusive and it was little to no fetal DNA. I never said it came back anything but that.
Okay, well, today you've admitted that there was little to no fetal DNA, right?
I've never said there was anything else.
You also ordered and took a blood HC test through any lab test now on October 16th of 2023, correct?
Correct.
And I'd like you to take a look at Exhibit 36, page 201. So this has already been admitted, so we'll move past that. By the time of this test on November 16th, you had claimed you were previously seen at Banner, Planned Parenthood, Dr. McCool, Dr. Higley, and even Dr. Zeman, right?
Your Honor, objection, she misstated the date. She said September 16th, I believe. It's October
That
16th.
can be addressed and redirect.
I said that Dr. McCool's my doctor. I did not say that I had seen him. I said I had seen Dr. Higley and the rest. Correct.
We'll talk about Dr. Higley in here, but your answer is would you like me to repeat the question, Ms. Owens?
Sure.
Okay.
Sam?
I'm going to stand here because it seems like you're looking at Mr. Gingrich quite a bit for guidance.
No, I don't need guidance from my attorney. I know how to answer the question.
By the
See what I
time
mean?
of your appointment for this test on October 16th of 2023, you claimed you were previously seen at Banner, Planned Parenthood, Dr. Higley, and even Dr. Z, right?
Yes.
But
Hey,
instead
Dee,
of
good
going
to
to any
see
of
you.
those providers for this test, you went to an entirely new provider, correct?
I just went on my way home from taking the Ravgen test, actually.
Yes or no questions?
Well, it wasn't a provider. It was a self-paid test. So
Okay, so you didn't go to any of your prior listed providers for this test, right?
correct.
Went somewhere else.
By your own admission in your affidavit signed April 16th of 2024, this result of an HCG level of 102 was not consistent with pregnancy, right?
Objection, misstates the testimony.
Overruled. You can answer.
Oh, can you say it again? I'm sorry.
By your own admission, the test result
Hey,
of
Rhonda, good to
102
see you.
for the level for HCG is not consistent with the pregnancy.
Oh, they are
Objection.
I
Go ahead.
I learned that it was.
Learned that it was consistent with pregnancy or was not consistent with pregnancy.
Well, the test results said anything above 4 was pregnant. So I thought 102 was pregnant, but then I learned it was not.
So you would agree with me that this is not consistent with pregnancy.
No, I wouldn't.
You doctored this particular test twice, correct?
I doctored the test once.
Okay, and when was that?
When I tried to send it to Dave Neal to get him to stop creating harassing videos at me.
And what amount?
So she admits that she doctored the test. See, that's the bad part about it is that right there is what's going to get her in trouble. Because she doctored documents.
Doctored level.
It was like 102,000, I believe.
So can you pull up Exhibit 17, page 113? Ms. Owens, you'll recognize this as it looks like the same test from October 16th, but it has an HCG level different than what you just indicated, and it says 131,902.
Okay.
correct?
Yes, that's
So you also doctored this test.
No, I didn't know what the number was that I had made it to.
Ms. Owens, I agree with you. You doctored this test twice. One to say 102,000 and again to say 131,902, right?
I doctored it, I guess, to say 131,902.
So she doctored it twice.
As of October 17th, 2023, when you received this test result, you had reason to believe you were not pregnant, right?
Yes, after doing some research, yes.
Okay. But then you proceeded to lie under oath at hearings before this court on October 24th, October 25th, and November 2nd, correct?
That's not correct. No.
You just admitted to it. Now you're saying, no, that's not correct. Not those dates. This is why you should always hire a member of the prostitutes union, get a contract before you get busy. Exactly. Oh my gosh. Yeah, with those hand signals going around, I thought he was watching a baseball game. Yeah.
Instead of telling the truth, you tampered with this HCG test to increase the level and offered that as support for a pregnancy.
To a content creator, not to the court.
You also testified on November 2nd, unequivocally, that your OBGYNs were Dr. McCool and Dr. Higgins, right?
Right.
In fact, you went so far as to state that your main OBGYN is the perinatalogist, Dr. McCool, right?
Correct.
You further testified on November 2nd that you had last seen Dr. Higley on last Friday, right?
Right.
You lied to the court when you made the statements.
I had the appointment scheduled, which you guys have.
Yes, no questions.
I know, but it needs to be answered. Correct. It needs to be answered. I had an appointment scheduled with him that I did not attend, but I did have an appointment scheduled.
Okay, so when you say you were seen by a doctor, that's not the same as having an appointment scheduled, correct?
Correct.
So we would agree that you were dishonest when you said you were physically seen by Dr. Higley the Friday before the November 2nd hearing.
Correct. That's a very minor thing.
Stop.
It's a very minor thing. No, that's not just a minor thing. That would be lying under oath. Oh,
Yeah, really.
So
You know,
it's never been seen
I mean, if
by-
this is good, I'm not comfortable if the JFC crew is going to be having reactions, honestly.
Okay, I'm going to stop the clock at this time. Counsel, you ask questions. Ma'am, you answer the questions. I could ask the gallery to please keep your
I
actions.
think I
I'm
can't.
still talking, ma'am.
oh. And this really sets the judge off. I don't think I can. She's just like, no, that's not how this works.
Keep your comments to a minimum or you will be asked to leave.
There goes the hand
Go ahead,
signals again.
Ms. Owens, you've never been seen by Dr. McCool, Dr. Higley for any medical appointment, correct?
Correct.
And the records from Dr. McCool's office indicate that you made 4 appointments that you never attended, correct?
Correct.
And the
Yeah.
records from Dr. Higley's office that we obtained indicate that they have no records for you from August 2020 through the present, right?
I'm sorry, you said Dr. Higley or Dr. McCool? Can I take a minute?
Can I take a minute?
Can we have just a 5-minute recess?
Sure, at this time. No, go ahead. What were you going to say, counsel?
I'm just concerned about our time constraint. That's all you're. So
Well, we factored in a 10-minute break. So what we'll do is we'll take it now. And
Uh-huh.
then when we come back, there will be no further breaks. So that's just something for the parties to keep in mind. We'll stand in.
Do you feel like you're in charge here? Bane. Yeah. And then they take a short break, come back.
22 minutes. And I'm gonna go with you. Water. I want to drink water.
Yeah, she's getting busted on her lies.
From the witness stand?
A quick time check, Judge.
Sure. Petitioners at 29 minutes and 30 seconds, respondents at 22 minutes and 1 second.
Ooh.
You ready?
Yeah, thank you.
I don't know, that may just fake tears, just like elemental BNR. Yeah. She shouldn't be allowed to talk to her attorney during break. I mean, I would assume not. But I'm not an attorney, so I couldn't tell you.
Owens, you testified at the November 2nd hearing that you had a due date of February 14th of 2024, which is Valentine's Day, correct?
Correct.
But you don't have a single medical record to support that alleged due date, right?
No, I do. I was trying to say I do have a record. That's what I was told by Tamara Lister at Banner Health, was that it would be Valentine's Day.
You're aware that the
Valentine's
record that
Day.
you provided from Banner does not indicate any due date, right?
It was in conversation with her as to when the due date would be.
These are yes or no questions. You're aware that the record you provided from Banner lists no such due date, right?
It can't be answered in a yes or no manner.
Yes, it can.
I'm saying
Yes, no, or I don't know.
Yeah, it's
so then
pretty
can you
simple.
please repeat the question?
So
Ah.
you're aware that the record from Banner that you provided, that your attorney just admitted into evidence, does not have an alleged due date of any kind on it, right?
Okay, then yes.
It's like pulling teeth.
I want you to take a look at what's our Exhibit 17, page 110. And this is the same as your Exhibit A1. This is a picture you took of a portion of a page from Banner, correct?
Correct.
Where is the rest of the document, Ms. Owens?
Clayton had it.
I'm asking you, where is the rest of the document in this particular exhibit?
Uh-huh. Hey, Tug Raiders.
I don't know, but there's nothing I was trying to hide from it. Clayton got the entire thing.
So you recognize you've been accused of faking records, right?
Yes.
And you expect the court to accept a picture of a portion of an alleged record?
You guys got the results yourselves. So
These are yes or no questions.
that's
Attorney is
not
going to have
fair.
an opportunity to conduct redirect examination. And you can elaborate then.
I mean, that's not fair. You guys know that you have the results of this that show the same thing. So I wasn't hiding anything here. That's not fair.
I have to move on.
That is completely fair.
Court will designate her as non-responsive.
For someone
yeah.
who's been involved in court cases nonstop since at least 2016.
You know what? That's not accurate. I have not been involved nonstop
I'm
since
going to stop the clock
2016.
for a moment, and I'm going to remind the parties. Counsel, you ask a question, ma'am, you answer the question. Otherwise, we move into a different area that I don't think anyone wants to go into. Counsel, resume.
Oh,
Ms. Owens, you have been involved in court cases since at least 2016, correct?
Nonstop, or are you saying since 2016? Can you just rephrase the question?
Answer the question as I've asked it. Been involved in court cases since 2016.
No.
Okay.
okay.
This particular document, Exhibit A1, has 3 different types of highlighting on it, correct?
I see two.
And Isabel, if you can please pull our Exhibit 17, page 110. You'll see this is the same document, but I believe maybe when your office scanned it in, you can't see all the highlighting. So I'm going to show you ours. You see there's 3 different types of highlighting.
Mhm.
Yes.
And you highlighted this on the same Adobe Acrobat program that you used to alter the other records, correct?
Oh,
This was the doctor highlighted point of care test results, and then I highlighted first trimester pregnancy and encounter for pregnancy test on my iPhone, but it wasn't Adobe Acrobat.
There's 2 different types of highlighting on this document, correct?
Yes.
And I want to talk to you about the date of this alleged.
yes, it's always someone else did it. Hey, thanking Cage.
You can agree that a woman
Bye,
can
queen.
take the pregnancy test when they miss their menstrual period, right?
Well, my case was different.
So these are yes or no questions.
I think the answer depends.
The answer
I don't get a
depends.
period, so I don't know how to answer that.
You don't get a period.
You don't get a regular.
I don't.
So you took
So she just admitted right there she doesn't get a regular period. Amazing.
this test before even missing a period, right?
Correct.
And between 2014 and the present, you have alleged that you were pregnant by 4 different men, correct?
Correct.
And all 4
different
of those men told you, one way or another, that they believed you fabricated those pregnancies, right?
The first was not so specific about that.
Oh, the first wasn't, but
And
the
3
other
of them are
3.
here today, right?
Correct.
And they also believe that you doctored medical records, right?
Objection foundation.
No
Sustained.
period. She gets an exclamation mark.
I'll move on, Your Honor. Ms. Owens, each time that one of these 3 men refused to be in a relationship with you and questioned your pregnancy narrative, you obtained an order of protection against them, right?
False.
False.
Okay, well, you have an order of protection against Mr. Greg Gillespie, correct?
Correct.
And he didn't believe that you were ever pregnant with his child, right?
No, that's wrong. He had me. I went to a doctor. He had me.
And if you notice, Gingras, which was sitting over here, has shifted his body over here so he can see around her. Yeah, you noticed that, right?
He told me I needed to go to the specific doctor to confirm the pregnancy, which I did. Who spoke to
Okay,
him?
stop. I'm striking that response. The court reporter has been very clear. Everyone's talking over each other for appellate purposes. And the fact that one of the parties is paying for the court reporter, implore you please to talk one at a time. With regards to the objection, it's overruled.
Ooh.
Go ahead, counsel.
Your Honor, I'll move on in the interest of time.
How you
Ms.
doing,
Owens,
Valor?
you didn't file an affidavit of financial information in this case, did you?
I did.
Yeah, he's
When did you
stupid
file that?
cars.
August or September. It's with the court.
Okay.
It's on the record.
Well, consistent with your deposition testimony and your April 16th affidavit, you would agree with me that you make approximately $200,000 a year and then have approximately $500,000 in like a money market account, right?
I don't have $500,000 in a money market account.
Okay, but you would agree with me that you make approximately $200,000 a year?
It's with businesses I have with my mom, so it's proportional to us with our companies. Yeah.
Ms. Owens, I want to give you one more opportunity. The media is here. You know that this case has gone viral. You have an opportunity right now to come clean and start fresh. So I'm going to ask you one final time. You were never pregnant by Clayton Eckert, correct?
That is absolutely incorrect.
Okay.
Time, Judge.
Time check, 28 minutes, 46 seconds. Redirect when you're ready.
Your Honor, I've got about 3 questions. First of all, Laura, looking at Exhibit A0, are we on my screen? This is the timeline that we talked about before. Can you just go back over that real quick? And does that accurately reflect the testimony you gave earlier regarding your version of the events?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move to admit Exhibit A0 it's a Rule 1006. It's a summary of testimony.
Your Honor, I would object. I don't believe this is an accurate summary of her testimony today.
That's for the
All right.
finding.
Over objection, the court will receive what's been marked as A30, giving it the weight that it deserves. It doesn't appear to be demonstratively.
Right.
Oh.
Laura, regarding Banner, there was some comment just a minute ago that you didn't produce records from Banner. To your knowledge, did you authorize Mr. Woodnick or his firm to get records from Banner?
Yes.
And looking at Exhibit A1, it's not just a photo of, the first page is a photo of something, but can you tell us what the second page here is?
That's from my patient portal showing that I was positive for Banner.
Okay, and to your knowledge, did Mr. Woodnick actually receive records from Banner? Did he ask for them?
Yes.
And did he get them?
Yes.
Okay. One final thing. You said before on cross-examination that when you saw that 102 HCG test from October 16th, that you believe that meant you were not pregnant. Do you understand the difference between a viable pregnancy and a non-viable one?
Yes.
Do you believe that the 102 number that you got in
Yeah.
October 16th of 2023 meant that you were not pregnant at all?
Objection leading.
That's right, Boosh.
What was your understanding of that 102 number? What did it mean to you?
That I was still pregnant as it was over 4 was
That
what it
102
said.
number.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, ma'am, you can go sit back down.
One more time check, Judge.
Sure. Respondent's at 28 minutes, 46 seconds. Petitioner is at 31 minutes, 14.
I see
Okay.
better legs on a chicken.
You can call your next witness when you're ready.
Your Honor, petitioner calls Dr. Michael Mitchell.
All right. Doctor, if you'd like to bring water with you, you may.
Did we spare him already? We did. Good morning, Dr. Mitchell. State your name, please.
Dr. Michael Medchill.
We have about 15 minutes, so I got to go really, really quick here. I know you're retired now. Can you tell the court what you did before you retired?
I was the chairman of the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology at St. Joseph's Hospital. I was in private practice at the same time, and I was also on the
That's
teaching
so right,
faculty
Levy.
of the
That's so
Phoenix
right.
Integrated Residency Program in Obstetrics and Gynecology.
Okay, so you have a medical doctorate degree,
Yes,
and you practiced medicine in Arizona for about 30 years. Is that right?
that's correct.
And according to the Arizona Medical Board, it says that you were first licensed in Arizona in 1992, and your medical license expired on March 7th, 2022. Is that accurate?
Yes,
It's about 2 years ago. And you retired from medicine in good standing with the medical board.
that's correct.
Your Honor, I tender Dr. Mitchell as an expert in the area of obstetrics and gynecology.
Dr. Pay-Per-View MD.
All right, so stipulated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Mitchell, in front of you there, we've got your CV, I guess. This is exhibit A12. And everything in your CV is accurate?
Yes,
Is that up to date and current?
yes,
Okay. And like you said, you served as the chairman of the obstetrics and gynecology department at St. Joseph's Hospital in Phoenix?
yes, for 4 years.
Well, they and you know, absolutely, Wanda, and you know, let's give a little bit of this.
Dog will hunt.
Oh yeah, good to see you. A little. Both these cases are filled with liars. Yes, but see that's the thing. They would never be in court if they weren't lying. That's where it becomes so interesting. Thank you very much for the 5. No, that's where all of this becomes really super interesting, because you know, this court case never would have been brought had she just come clean right out the gate. If she would have just said, yeah, I've never been pregnant. I'm not suing. I'm just moving on. I never heard of the Samsonite sister who lived. Did you get the info? Samsonite sister lived. No, maybe. This is the rabbit died era, doctor. Yeah, that's right. I might have it there somewhere. One person, all you would do is because I'm out here, I can give you a link to follow, okay? Get a hold of me. Yeah, okay.
In that capacity, how many children did you personally deliver?
I delivered over 20,000 babies.
And I think when we were talking, you explained that the success rate of a pregnancy when a woman becomes pregnant and then delivers a baby, not all of them make it. Is that right?
Almost half of all pregnancies end in a miscarriage.
Okay.
That's not
And so
true.
if you delivered 22 or 20,000 children, how many patients did you see that didn't deliver healthy babies? That's directly to the, I'm sorry?
Sustained.
In addition to women that did not deliver a healthy baby, in addition to women who delivered healthy children, did you have patients who had miscarriages?
Yeah, Boosh, half. Also, so what he's saying is whenever women get pregnant, only your chances are 50-50 that you're going to have a kid. You're just as likely to have a viable child as having a miscarriage, is what this doctor is saying.
Miscarriages.
Thousands.
And so you have extensive training and experience with regard to women that have non-normal pregnancies.
Correct.
All right, Dr. Mitchell, in your report here, which again is Exhibit A12, you summarize, there's a written report and it's going slow. Let me see here. Did you review some records as part of your retention in this case?
Yes.
And your report has an index of exhibits that you looked at. There's a Banner pregnancy test, an image of some tissues. They're all attached to your report. Other than what is listed there, did you review anything else?
Just the ones that I've listed.
Okay. And after you performed that initial review, you asked for some medical records. You had a question regarding medications.
Yes.
And did you get those records?
Yes, I did.
Do you recall where they're from?
From Barrow Neurologic Institute.
You're familiar with Barrow?
Very familiar. They're at St. Joseph's Hospital.
That's part of the.
Well, I don't know what just happened. Something weird just happened. So, here's the thing. If you do a quick search on it, no, it's not true that half of pregnancies end in miscarriage. While miscarriages are common, they occur only in about 10 to 20% of clinically recognized pregnancies. The actual number is likely higher, as many miscarriages occur before the woman ever even realizes she's pregnant. But he said he's seen, like, out of the 20,000, half of them have ended up in miscarriage. The math ain't mathing at 20,000 babies. Yeah. I don't know what happened here.
With over 99% probability.
Okay. And can you explain what facts support that conclusion? The facts that you considered anyway.
I am kind of the Sergeant Friday of Dragnet. I only take in the facts, the bare facts that are known to be provable. Number one, there was intimacy of some type, disputed what exactly it was. Number two, she had a positive pregnancy test at a lab at Banner, which means that there's a 99% chance that that's a positive pregnancy. Number three, she had a negative test or little or no fetal DNA found on a test in late September, looking for fetal DNA in the blood. What that tells me is that by that point, at the end of September, the pregnancy had failed, that even though she still had a positive pregnancy test,
the Sergeant Friday, really? Because here is the thing that and I'm not a gynecologist or any sort of doctor, so I don't want to don't be expecting me to look at your cooch. It's not going to happen. Here's the thing. If a woman is pregnant on, XYZ date, those levels go really high. And if I'm not mistaken, somebody can correct me that knows more about this, that level increases by double, like every single day. It just keeps increasing and increasing and increasing. And whenever, for example, you have a miscarriage, those levels just don't magically disappear and go to zero. They stay pretty damn high, and then they'll slowly decrease. I could be wrong.
It was no longer a viable pregnancy. The fourth thing is that she still had a positive pregnancy test in the blood of 102 on October 16th, which again, greater than 99% positive that she was pregnant.
102
and the
is
fact
low.
that between June 1st and October 16th, she's got 2 laboratory proven pregnancy tests. That indicates that all of the urine pregnancy tests, any other pregnancy tests that she had done, likely are also demonstrably positive. And the final thing is when she had bleeding in November, and then a couple of days later had a negative pregnancy test at the mom doc.
All right, you have a good one, Valor. You have a good one. I'll check that one out. She wanted an immaculate conception. No, she wanted to swallow it and get pregnant that way.
Also illustrates one that the pregnancy finally was completed. So what happened was she had a pregnancy. It failed at some point. There's no way of knowing exactly when.
Actually, there would be a way of knowing exactly when if she was. Yeah, 4 to 6 weeks for morning sickness to start. Not wanting to keep the baby shouldn't factor into the miscarriage status. True. But that's the point, is he's saying that those were miscarriages, not just somebody not wanting the child. He's saying those were miscarriages. He's saying half of women have miscarriages. Like whenever they go and see him, and what he said is he's delivered 20,000 babies. So that means he's had 40,000 women come through his office and saying that they're pregnant, and tested them. They showed as being pregnant, and 20,000 of those women had miscarriages. That's what he's saying, because he said he's delivered over 20,000 children. So half the women that he would have seen, which would be 40,000. So 40,000 women have come to his office, and they've come in. He's tested them. They've shown to be pregnant, and out of those 40,000 women, only 20,000 of them had kids. That's what he's saying.
Frequently, very frequently, when people miscarry, they're incomplete. Some of it miscarries, the fetus is no longer alive, but you still continue to have a positive pregnancy test because there's still tissue there that hasn't been expelled. That finally happened in November when that pregnancy was completed, when that miscarriage was completed.
Yeah, 50% would be a lie.
Dr. Mitchell, Mr. Eckert has said that he doesn't believe that a pregnancy was possible here because there was no intercourse. Do you have an opinion about that? Regarding general, not regarding him or her, but in general.
Well, it's
well, in general, if there's no intercourse, there's no chance of her getting pregnant. This is sort of a prerequisite, unless she injected it into herself. Somebody did the math, and 20,000 deliveries equate to like 500 a year. So this guy claims he delivered 1 to 2 babies a day, 7 days a week. Seems unlikely. Well, but then on top of that, there was another 20,000 that would come into his office, over those 20 years that he's been practicing, or however many years. This expert sounds like he's making up his crap about pregnancy. Yeah, turkey baster, sure. But not every woman has morning sickness. My sister never knew she was pregnant until her second trimester. Yeah, I've what is it like? I've never actually been a doctor. Yeah.
said that men are like basketball players. They dribble before they shoot. They also dribble afterwards. And if you are rubbing genitalia together, it is possible.
God, no. This guy's going to get his ass handed to him.
To get pregnant.
How much weight would you assign to the fact that Mr. Eckert denied sexual intercourse? Is that significant to the question of whether she was pregnant, or is it a minor point?
It has nothing to do with whether she was pregnant.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second, counsel.
I'll withdraw.
Okay.
Dr. Mitchell, I think
I'll
you
get
said
him on
earlier that it's
redirect.
impossible to know for sure when Laura's pregnancy ended. Do you have an opinion about, based on the records that you've seen and the
Oh, it might have. Well, it was you were just sore from the butt sex. That's all. That's all. Megan Fox broke news that she has proof. LO bought HCG. Yeah, I heard that. I was listening a little bit. Yeah, that's going to come out and be crazy, redunculous. Yeah.
information that's been provided to you? Do you have a theory about when?
It actually ended in November when her pregnancy test was negative. When it failed, in other words, when it was no longer viable, there is no way of knowing exactly when that happened.
Okay. Dr. Mitchell, somebody online, I think, made a comment, theory obviously, that that Laura may have injected herself with HCG. I think that we talked about a trigger shot or something like that. First of all, what is an HCG trigger shot?
It's used in trying to help somebody get pregnant, and it's by prescription. It's an injection, and I saw no records that indicated that anybody would have given her a prescription for HCG.
Okay.
Nor would there be a reason to give her one.
Oh, this doctor is about to be proven so wrong. They just said we're going to get hit hard here tomorrow. I'm sorry to hear that, Paula. Sorry to hear that. I'm back. Your family to the south is safe so far. Still storming. Still have a couple of tornadoes. Warnings going. Well, be safe, everybody. Be safe out there. No, and so this doctor, according to what there's a record now, buddy. Yeah, Ikimbo, and that's what's going to end up coming up. In Megan Fox is going to be breaking a story that says that she did actually get HGC injections. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting.
Especially if she was already pregnant.
Right. Dr. Mitchell, Clayton, in his pretrial statement, objected to your testimony on a couple of grounds, and I know you and I talked about this. I'll just read one of his objections, that you have relied on an admittedly tampered with data set.
Yep.
Do you feel that you've relied on admittedly tampered data in any way, shape, or form informing your conclusions?
Absolutely not. All
I
I
don't think none of us
included were the fact that they both admitted that there was some type of intimacy, that there were all the other things that I used to make my decision was based on laboratory tests.
And the Planned Parenthood sonogram that we've spoken about, and I think you were sitting here and saw and heard that testimony. Did you rely on that Planned Parenthood sonogram in any way?
No.
And the HCG test from any lab test now that Laura did not send to any court, the one that said 130 something thousand, did you rely on that in any way?
No.
Does the fact that Laura has those credibility problems and that she did some things that we all agree are dumb, does that change your opinion on whether or not she was pregnant?
we all agree
No.
are dumb. He just called his client
Why
dumb.
The lab tests, like I said, are 99+%, and they were repeated over and over and over. And so
What
He was
lab
pregnant.
tests? What lab tests?
One other objection that Clayton
There was
made
no
to your
lab
testimony,
test.
Dr. Mitchell, is that you,
Ugh,
with zero
Jenga
scientific or
Rajah.
DNA basis, made a conclusion that Clayton was the father of twins. Have you reached that opinion at all?
no, that's
I mean, I don't see it in your report. I'm just wondering if you agree that you can't make any conclusions at all because we don't have DNA.
correct.
You're familiar with the RavGen test process.
Yes.
Can you think of any reason why a woman who is not pregnant would want to take a test like that?
Objection foundation.
Sustained.
Dr. Mitchell, if Laura was not pregnant and she submitted a sample to RavGen, would RavGen be able to confirm that she wasn't pregnant?
Objection foundation.
Sustained.
Dr. Mitchell, you're familiar with RavGen. You just said that.
Yes.
Did you ever use them in your practice or something like that, a similar service?
Yes.
And as part of using a DNA testing service like that, does the service confirm that the woman is or isn't pregnant? Can they come back and say this woman's not?
Oh, geez. No, Akimbo. He won't drop her. See, here's the thing, because he's dug himself in so deep that he'll come back and he'll say, this is a fake story. This is fake news. It's not true. You can't trust what she says. This is more of the Clayton County, or I'm sorry, the Clayton Eckerd fan club that's making up things. These are not true. She was never pregnant. Could she have been pregnant? No. Exactly.
Not pregnant?
Objection foundation.
Sustained.
Did you ever have that happen? When you used DNA testing as a doctor, did you ever have a test come back that said that a woman was not pregnant?
Objection foundation, and also RavGen's only been around for a few years and I think it's retired for a few.
I'm asking about the process generally, Your Honor.
Overruled. He can answer the question.
Pre-cell DNA, which RavGen is a type, has been around for a number of years. I used it frequently. It not only tells you if you're pregnant, it tells if it's a boy or a girl. It'll tell you if it has genetic defects. It's incredible. It's the biggest That's the
Oh,
new
Vegas.
technology that we've had in the last 20, 30 years.
I was looking at my notes when you answered. So a RavGen type test or RavGen itself can tell whether it's a boy or a girl?
Yes.
Can tell, well, then necessarily could tell whether the woman's pregnant at all?
Yes, obviously.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Dr. Mitchell, one final question, one series. If you
Only
see
if
the
there's
picture
fetal
behind you there
DNA.
of Laura's body. As a physician and as a man or doctor who's delivered lots of healthy babies and maybe some that didn't end healthy, can you explain how Laura's body could be that size? And she never said that she passed any dead fetus.
Objection. Exceed the scope of his presentation. You need to review the photo as part of the exhibit.
Overruled. He can answer if he has an opinion. The
Uh-huh.
court will give it the weight it deserves, which could be a little, a lot, or none at all.
That photo is actually one of the things that, did you look at this photo as part of your
I saw
review?
that photo earlier, yes.
And regarding the size of Laura's belly, which clearly is not here anymore, does that show you anything regarding whether or not she was pregnant?
It could indicate that she was pregnant, could indicate other things.
It
The
could.
fact that Laura didn't
But
claim
does
to
it?
pass a large fetus, is that something surprising to you, or is that something that could logically be explained medically?
The fact that this pregnancy, in all,
Yeah, if her belly was like that and she's saying, oh, there was a little bit of something. 3 warnings currently to the south. So why did Laura stop at any lab test now to get the 102 HCG test on her way home from the RavGen if it's so reliable? A 102 HCG is low. Like that's really low. 102 would be like really low. 102,000 or 120,000 might be normal for as long as she was pregnant. Because 5 pregnancy tests trumps a sonogram. Exactly. That's true. I can't believe that's so right. That's so correct. Oh,
likelihood was no longer viable early in this pregnancy. Doesn't surprise me that she didn't pass much tissue at all.
How does that happen? Does the body,
now I'm sorry. Maybe I'm crazy, but if you're as pregnant as she's supposedly showing in this picture, and you pass some tissue, you're going to see something that looks like or possibly could be. It's not mathing up. It's not mathing up. Big Rapids, Michigan, just but south are really getting hit. Oof.
What happens is the fetus starts to grow. At some point, the fetus stops growing. There's no
That's very cool. I found out about this case watching a Court Watchers channel, which in turn led me to Shizzy. Mag, Tuck, DUI guy, been a crazy ride since then. Well, not as crazy as her.
longer a heartbeat. If it's very early, they may just get a period. If
It could be, but we're talking about, I mean, sure, it could be. I mean, anything's possible. Anything's possible.
if they miscarry, they may pass a little tissue, maybe not. And some of that tissue remains enough that it continues to produce HCG.
Okay. If she's had difficult pregnancies before, and they said that she will have difficult pregnancies, why would she not go to the emergency room immediately? Why would she just, oh, I'll just hang out. I'll just hang out here, maybe go grab a, Big Mac and some fries.
That's why she continued to have the positive pregnancy tests. And that's why we call it an incomplete abortion. Once we know that there's no longer a viable pregnancy there, but the pregnancy doesn't
But you
end
don't know
until
that.
all that tissue is gone, at which time it is a completed miscarriage.
okay. 2 more questions, Dr. Mitchell. Have you reviewed the expert report of Dr. Deans, who's Clayton's expert?
Yes,
Do you disagree with anything that Dr. Deans said?
Not really. The only thing that was amusing to me was the fact that they're relying on a clinical pregnancy.
That's the
There's a
righteous
old
doctor.
adage, either you're pregnant or you're not. The adage isn't you're either clinically pregnant or not. And the reason for that is because to be clinically pregnant, that means you have to have prenatal care. Laura did not have prenatal care. I took care of hundreds of women who had no prenatal care. So technically, were not clinically pregnant, walked into the hospital and I delivered a 9-pound baby, even though they weren't clinically pregnant. Clinical pregnancy only means that they've gotten prenatal care that you could see on ultrasound or you could hear with an instrument. And
And
so
she refused to do
a
that.
clinical pregnancy is not relevant.
HGC can be up to 400 at or 700 at 4 weeks, and if I'm not mistaken, every single day it doubles. Like every day or every week, something like that. It's supposed to double. Like that's why you end up with that 102,000, 120,000 HGC level. Being slightly pregnant is like having a very tiny amount of severe brain damage, or just a little perjury.
Relevant here is either you're pregnant or you're not.
And your opinion is that Laura was pregnant, even if it wasn't a clinical pregnancy, she was pregnant.
Correct.
Thank you. No further questions.
All right, Council, you're at 45 minutes and 43 seconds. Council, you have 28 minutes, 46 seconds.
Thank you, doctor. You consider yourself a scientist, correct?
Yes.
So you know that when collecting data, it's garbage in, garbage out. If you're not relying on good data, the opinion you're going to give is not going to be credible. Is that correct?
That's why I only relied on the data that I thought was totally credible.
And that was the data that Mr. Gingrich gave, correct?
That was the data that was presented to me.
I saw when you drove into the parking lot, you walked in with Laura's mom in the parking lot. Are you friendly with her mother?
Yeah, I just met her this morning.
Okay, that's nice. Did you, let's go here. Mr. Gingrich asked you whether or not you relied on the ultrasound, but you're aware that the ultrasound was a fake, correct?
I've been told that, and that's why I didn't rely on it.
Okay, but knowing that the ultrasound was a fake, doesn't that cause you to be incredulous about the other data that Ms. Owens presented you?
That's precisely why I only used the data that was laboratory proven.
Well, you actually sat in here and are relying on a photocopy or a picture of a medical record that Laura gave. That was the banner with the 3 colors of highlighter. Do you remember seeing that? You were just sitting here. Yeah,
I saw that, yes.
You understand, Laura has admitted to faking medical records.
Yes.
She faked ultrasounds by putting other lab names on them. She faked the 2 versions of the HCG test that you relied on, correct? Objection. That's exactly what you
Overruled.
testified
Can be
to.
addressed. It can be addressed in redirect.
That's exactly what she testified to.
The data that I relied on was stuff that was verified from the laboratory itself.
That's not true. You relied on.
That's not true. He's right. Like, well, no, sir, you're relying on this information that was given to you. The information that was given to you was already said to have been doctored by her. She's already admitted to doctoring the evidence. And now he's saying, well, I relied on it. It came from
On a photocopy that Laura took a picture of and provided you. It's in your file.
The Sonora Quest test on October the 16th was, I believe, derived directly from Sonora Quest.
Okay, let me
I
pause
think
you. Does it concern you as a scientist that 3 men have accused Laura of fabricating medical documents?
that has nothing to do with the data.
Does it concern you as a, it doesn't have anything to do with the data? It doesn't mean that you should do a deeper dive to verify the authenticity of the data?
If you have proof that the test from Banner or from Ravgen or from the quantitative HCG were fake, I'm willing to take a look at them, but
Oh, man. Okay, idiot. The data that you were relying on is the data that Gingras gave you. That data she fabricated. So that's what you're relying on. It's like talking in circles with somebody that just is not putting two and two together. God, you relied on the smallest amount of proof possible and paid shell. Yeah, exactly, Akimbo.
That's what I have.
But doctor, we have proof. She changed the sonogram and she changed the HCG levels in one of the tests that you relied on.
I didn't rely on the ultrasound, and I didn't rely on the faked 100 and whatever thousand.
Okay. You know that Laura testified that we can agree, you reviewed absolutely zero records from Laura's PCP, correct?
I don't know who her PCP is.
Well, that's a problem. Wouldn't you have wanted to talk to her PCP and see what drugs she was on?
I saw what drugs she was on from Barrow.
No, you saw what drugs she was on from a neurologist that she had telemedicine.
Yes.
You didn't request, doctor, records from her PCP, correct?
I did not.
And you would agree that, thank you. You would agree that it would have been helpful had you reviewed her historic gynecological records, correct? Correct?
The testing of her, whether she was pregnant or not, had nothing to do with her gynecological
You have
record.
no idea whether or not she had elevated HCG in her system in the years before with any of the other litigation, do you?
The fact that she had a negative HCG at the end of her pregnancy tells me that she didn't have familial HCG in her system.
Okay, doctor, let's really quickly talk about other things that could have caused Laura's HCG to be elevated. As a physician and a scientist, you would agree that HCG could be elevated due to pituitary, correct?
Yes,
It could be elevated due to cancer, correct?
yes,
Ovarian cysts.
depending on if it was cancer.
You're aware that Dr. Yee and Dr. Chan both provided medical record, but both indicated that Laura had ovarian.
I saw those records. I didn't.
Oh, thank you, Diane G. I appreciate you. Good to catch you live. Good to catch you live, too.
Dog will hunt.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you so much. Good to see you, Diane. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a wonderful evening. Crazy, crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. I'm telling you. Loco cabeza.
I'll move on.
Yes,
Let's go back. It could be elevated HCG could be caused by weight loss drugs.
I'm not aware of weight loss, but there are drugs that can alter HCG results.
Let's talk about that a little bit more. How about anxiety medication?
Yes,
How about antidepressants?
yes.
And you have no idea whether or not Laura was on any of those medications because you didn't review her historic medical records other than what was provided to you by telemed at Barrows, correct?
I saw that she was on some of those medicines,
What medicine?
the anti-anxiety medicines.
An anti-anxiety medicine that you just said could elevate her HCG. Last, doctor. IVF drugs also cause escalated HCG, do they not?
Certain types.
Laura could have been on Novarel or Pregin, correct? Pregin.
I saw no records of that, and there would be no reason why, if she was pregnant, that she'd be on those.
One last question.
Oh, dude. Because you didn't talk to her primary care physician. Jesus. Sorry. You didn't talk to her primary care physician. So how would you know? How would you even be able to guess? Because you're only viewing a portion of the information. Oh, God.
Question, doctor. The antipsychotic clozapine causes elevated HCG, does it not?
It's been reported to.
Thank you, Bishop.
Right, redirect.
One question, Dr. Mitchell, regarding the potential of some issue other than pregnancy being the source of Laura's HCG in her blood. Are you aware that after November 14th, or on November 14th, she tested negative twice?
Yes.
If Laura had drugs or tumors or cysts or anything else that was causing an elevated HCG level, would she have tested negative for pregnancy twice on November 14th?
Yes.
No, it would have still been positive.
That's it.
Okay, before you sit down, doctor, I just have a few questions. So you said that HCG requires a prescription, correct?
The injecting, yes.
Does Planned Parenthood have the authorization to write those prescriptions as far as you know, in Arizona anyway?
I can't imagine any reason why they would. It's a drug that's used to induce ovulation, so it's used in infertility patients.
Okay,
Planned Parenthood doesn't normally do infertility.
I understand, but that wasn't my question. My question was, are the medical doctors there able to write a prescription for it if they chose to, if they deemed it medically necessary?
Yes.
Okay. Did you review either the Planned Parenthood records from Mission Viejo or Los Angeles?
No.
Okay. Follow up to the court's questions.
That's the question.
Follow up to the court's questions. Thank you, doctor. You can step down. And counsels, before we call the next witness up, just so that I point this out to the parties, we've explored B9, B31, and A12 that have not been moved. So I don't know if that was just an oversight or if the parties are intending to move those.
I'm sorry, could I have those numbers?
Sure, B9, B31, and A12 were addressed, but not moved.
I would move to admit A12. A12 is Dr. Mitchell's report.
Okay.
And no objection to that. And we move to admit B9 and B31.
All right, and I assume no objection, counsel?
I just wanted to look what they were.
You explored them with your client on direct.
Those are his actions.
Yep, no objection there.
Okay,
Oh,
the
no
court will
objection,
receive what's
of
been
course.
marked as B9, B31, and A12. Thank you. You can call your next witness.
Your Honor, if we can get a time check.
Sure.
Yeah,
Respondent's at
exactly,
34
Madam
minutes,
Mayor.
36 seconds. Petitioner is at 46 minutes and 6 seconds.
Your Honor, I'm going to reserve the rest of my time, so I'm done.
Okay. All right, counsel.
Judge, with some technological help, and hopefully we're not on the clock, we're going to call Dr. Deans.
Okay. All right. So you're on the clock for her testimony, but getting her set up is not. Right. Dr. Deans, are you
Dr.
able to
Deans is
hear me?
Awesome.
Yes, I can.
Okay, counsel.
Bingo.
Before we go on the clock, Dr. Deans, can you hear me? It's the voice of Greg Woodnick.
Yes, I can see you too.
Oh,
Counsel?
there you are. Thank you. All right, we're ready, Judge. Thank you.
Hold on 1 second. I want to make sure she can hear everybody. Counsel, will you do a test, please?
Hi, Dr. Deans, good morning.
Good morning. I can hear you.
Can you see me?
I can.
All right. And doctor, before we get started, and I give this advisory whenever we have virtual witnesses, is if you need, I understand we've all got multiple screens going. If you need to look at a report or your notes or something different, I need you to let me know that you're going to do that. We'll give you an opportunity to do it wherever that document is located. Once your recollection has been reflected, please look away from that screen and let us know that you're ready. Additionally, you should be able to see, once we put it up, any exhibits that either counsel will ask you to review. Please let me know if you can't see it, okay?
I will. Thank you.
You're welcome. When you're ready, counsel.
Hi, Dr. Deans. I'm going to go lightning fast. Introduce yourself to the court, please.
Hi, I'm Dr. Samantha Deans,
Where'd you go to medical school?
Indiana University School of Medicine,
Are you board certified?
double board certified,
What's your first board
obstetrics and gynecology,
and your second board?
complex family planning.
Well, you have 2 fellowships?
Just one fellowship.
Thank you. Do you teach
I do.
medical students and physicians?
Medical students and resident doctors. Yes.
You teach them gynecological and early family planning?
Yes. Complex family planning.
All right. Thank you, Professor Deans. You've provided us with your CV, which is Exhibit 39. I'd move to admit. No objection.
B39 is received.
You also did a report for us. It's Exhibit 41, which we'll pull up on the screen. Did you have an opportunity to review the medical records for Laura Owens?
Yes, the ones I was provided with.
Exhibit number 41. Did you know that that was published online on a website?
Just to confirm, I'm looking at my report, and no, I did not know that was published on a website.
Did you give Miss Owens permission to publish your report on a website?
I did not.
Okay. Judge, I'm tendering Dr. Deans as an expert here.
Any objection?
No, I have one voir dire question for her.
Go ahead.
Dr. Deans, hi, good morning. How many children have you delivered as a OBGYN?
Probably too many to count, but I would say at least 3,000 at this point.
Okay, I stipulate to her expertise.
So just imagine she's delivered 3,000. Now that sounds a little more accurate. Modern technology with Zoom, a webcam, microphones, sweet.
So stipulated.
All right. Basic question, Dr. Deans. I'm going to go fast here. Do you have concerns regarding the legitimacy of some of the records you reviewed?
I do.
If this court were to assume that the June 1st HCG test actually came from Laura, would that confirm pregnancy?
No.
What is the medical standard of care to confirm a pregnancy?
That would have to be either serial HCGs showing a trend over time, or a pregnancy test and or an ultrasound, or a physical exam that confirms an intrauterine pregnancy.
And we had none of that here, correct?
Correct.
All right, I'm showing you exhibit number 20.
Damn, that just shot down that last expert. She was very direct, very much to the point, said, well, the only way to confirm that she was pregnant is to make sure that those HGC levels, you're monitoring them and you see them actually climbing. You can track those. Or she shows up at a gyno and they say yes, or she gets checked out, which none of this she did. Yeah. Oh, Megan Fox, how you doing, love? Yeah, she destroys the last expert. She's concise, to the point, and just so spot on. She's just destroys it. And I can't wait to see the document you have, Megan. Oh, that's gonna be glorious. The only problem is I'll have to catch it whenever I'm able to. Doggone it.
28. Are you aware that that's the ultrasound from Laura? Are you aware that that was altered?
Yes, I am.
Laura claimed it was anonymous and from Planned Parenthood. Any thoughts about that?
Patients cannot be seen anonymously at Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood, having been a former medical director of Planned Parenthood, PPFA, which is our national guidelines, require identification at the time of a visit to confirm the identity of the patient. The patient can't be seen anonymously.
Thank you.
Oh, all of her narration just got destroyed. Everything that she said, shot down, just slam dunk, gone. Every single bit of credibility that she had, that she went and showed up, that she did it anonymously, the different places she went to. Oh, it's going to be epic. We can't wait, Megan. We cannot wait.
Laura claims she was pregnant with twins. Anything you reviewed in any of the medical records confirmed that Laura was pregnant with twins?
No.
Laura claimed that the twins were boy and girl gender. Anything that you reviewed that confirms that?
No.
Do you recall reviewing the October 16th HCG test? I think it had a 100 or 3-digit HCG level on it.
I do.
Are you aware that there's actually 2 other versions of that exact same test in circulation?
I've heard that. I have not.
If I told you there was another version with 1,000 times higher HCG level, would that cause you concern?
Yes, it would.
Are there alternate causations for a positive HCG test as we have here?
Yes, sir.
Did you review well, I'm going to skip over the photos. Did you review Dr. Medshill's report?
I did.
You're aware that Laura first claimed she miscarried in September or October, and then the photos that are in the report indicate that it happened in the 3rd week of July, correct?
Correct.
Pursuant to Dr. Medshill's report, he concluded, do you agree with his conclusion that the data here warrants that Laura was 99% pregnant?
No, I do not agree with that assessment.
Do you agree with Dr. Medshill that the record confirms, this is from his report, a May 20th conception date?
Absolutely not. There's no data to confirm a conception date at this point that would require an ultrasound dating of a pregnancy.
Oh,
Professor Deans, thank you. Judge, I just moved to admit Exhibit 41 if I didn't already.
The objection?
No objection.
41's received. Cross-examination when you're ready.
Dr. Deans, you
Oof.
reviewed records that showed that Laura had HCG in her blood October 16th, 2023. You familiar with those?
Yes.
Where did that HCG come from?
It could come from a variety of sources.
Okay, and your report mentions some of those sources. I'm just going to ask about specific things. exogenous injection. I'm assuming that's a fancy way of saying sticking yourself with a needle.
Correct. Exogenous would be an HCG source from outside of the body.
And do you have any information, or have you seen any records that suggest that that happened here?
Good question.
I don't.
Okay. Heterophilic
Tug Ray.
antibodies, which I did a little reading on that, some sort of allergic response.
Awesome. Tug raid. Yeah, agreed. Dr. Dean's and the actual expert, Dr. Mitchell, was a wacko, in my opinion. You're right. Welcome, Tug and Bug Raid. That's so awesome. I hope you guys had a good time, spending it with Tug on his birthday. That's so awesome. What a great birthday. I think you guys made that for that man. It's glorious. Birthday Tug Raid. That's right. Bug is too cute. Yes, she is. Welcome, Tug Raiders. Any woman who's been pregnant knows that doctors go by last menstrual period, not conception date. Tug, birthday raid. Bug was adorable. Aw. She always is adorable. Mr. Gringus, would you like an adult-sized doggo bed to hide in? No, he would never. Tug, Lug, and Bug Raid. Awesome. Welcome, Raiders. We'll wait until this piles in a little bit more. And I've got another letter tonight. Ooh, you don't want to miss that. Tug, Bug Raid, Tug, birthday raid. Yes. Long time no see. Yes, I know. It has been a little bit. Join in the fray for the Tug Raiders. Oh, yes. Welcome. Yeah. Make sure you hit that like, and if you're not subscribed, now would be a time to do it. Because that way you'll get a notification at some point tomorrow. I will be somewhere on an interstate doing hopefully the speed limit or below the speed limit, because I would never speed. And you can hang out for as long as I allow you to. As long as I stream. There will be a stream tomorrow at some point in time. I've got to move some furniture, so I will be packing up a truck and driving that truck multiple hours, and then at some point on Saturday I'll be loading up the truck with some more and be on the road for a few more hours. So the stream just rocketed like Laura Owens HCG level. Yes. Make sure that you hit that like. Make sure you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed, it's okay. It doesn't do anything but make your algorithm look much better. Because wouldn't you like to see this lovely face? Laura Owens' favorite shampoo is. All right, I think we got some people in here. Let's just give you a nice big welcome.
Welcome to the shit show.
Oh yeah,
Every single day.
every day.
A new flavor of fuckery. Cause everybody's such, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of clots. Monday, bullshit. Tuesday, bullshit. Wednesday, and then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, predicament, ignorant, boulder, dash, poppycock, bollocks, and fuckery. Yeah, we'll have it all over again.
I love it. All right, let's get back to it. We're just about finished with this one.
Sounds like maybe.
Correct. An autoimmune response can be triggered by exposure to animals and create positive tests.
Okay,
Oh,
but the fact that Laura tested negative for pregnancy November 14th would appear to be inconsistent with at least the heterophilic antibody theory. Would you agree with that?
It depends on the type of test. A urine pregnancy test might be positive, but a blood test could still be positive. It depends on the assessment and the level of HCG at the time of the test.
Okay, and I think Dr. Medchill said, and I think you also said, that cancer can cause elevated HCG levels. That's a fact, right?
Correct.
And have you seen any records to suggest that Laura has cancer presently, or that she did in 2023?
Not presently, no. I know there's a discussion of a prior history of ovarian cancer.
I understand that. But regarding 2023, if Laura had cancer in 2023 that caused false positive pregnancy tests between May and October, when the last one was, how can you explain her testing negative in November?
I mean, I think it makes that less likely unless she had treatment in the meantime.
And another option that you wrote about in your report was something called familial HCG syndrome as being a way that someone could test positive, have HCG in their blood, not from pregnancy, correct?
Correct.
Do you know how
Good
rare that
evening,
is?
Fluffy.
Very rare.
I read that it was about 10 cases in the planet. Does that sound about right to you? And again, if Laura had familial HCG syndrome, that would...
That's so mean. Why would you do that to Megan? Why would you do that to Megan? You gotta be nice to Megan. I'll hurt you.
explain some false positive tests in the middle of the year, but it wouldn't explain the negative at the end, would it?
That is correct.
Dr. Deans, in your report, you talked about objective evidence of pregnancy. On the first page in particular, you said that the only objective evidence of pregnancy is a Banner urgent care serum quantitative HCG from, well, I think that's actually a misstatement. That October 16th wasn't at Banner, but there was a serum HCG, and you've referred to that as objective evidence of pregnancy. Is that true?
Correct.
And in the absence of some other explanation, cancer, familial, horse tranquilizers, or whatever, in the absence of some other explanation, you would agree, and Dr. Medchill, I think, said, that HCG test from October 16th is objective evidence of pregnancy, right?
It is objective evidence, and one of the possibilities of that objective evidence is pregnancy.
Right. And if a woman is pregnant, regardless of how much or how little prenatal care she has, she's still pregnant, right?
What?
If they are pregnant, yes.
I mean, a woman could be pregnant and have no ultrasound until the day the baby comes out, and she's still pregnant, right?
Yes, and the objective data would be the baby coming out of her body.
Right.
Yeah.
And Dr. Deans, you worked, or your report and your resume indicated that you worked at Planned Parenthood for a while?
That's correct.
In that capacity, did you counsel women regarding terminating their pregnancies?
Correct.
And just for the record, I'm strongly pro-choice, strongly Planned Parenthood. If a woman was choosing or was thinking about choosing to terminate her pregnancy, why would she have
She was, could have been.
prenatal care?
Well, and you also have to keep this in mind, Libby, that she works with horses. Just keep that in mind, that she works with horses. Actually, was riding them competition while she was supposedly pregnant. She was whatever that is, where they do the steeplechase, I think is what they call it. Yeah, so just keep that in mind, that she was riding horses while she was pregnant, supposedly. Or never pregnant.
Oftentimes patients care first to confirm their pregnancy before they make their decision about how to end it.
But in a lot of states,
I'm sorry to cut you off for another.
I'm out of time. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Wasted
No
all your
redirect.
time.
Thank you, Professor Deans. We appreciate your help.
All right, any
Thank you.
objection?
Dressage, thank you.
The professor disconnecting.
No.
All right, thank you, Dr. Deans. If you'd like to disconnect, you may. If you'd like to stay and listen, you absolutely may.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Time check, Judge.
38 minutes.
Yeah, but they've got pictures of her at about the same time that she was supposedly having that gut, and she's got no gut whatsoever. Why? Because the judge did not want to be wasting time. They put time limits on this because this was they didn't want to waste the court's time. And they can do this in certain courts, and you'd be surprised, like a lot of bigger trials. And I'll just put this for example, like for example, Johnny Depp's trial, they set aside a certain amount of time because the amount of witnesses that were going to be coming into that particular case, I believe it was, 8 weeks or 12 weeks or 24 weeks. I mean, they have an amount that they allot for it. So this way the judge doesn't get bogged down. The judge also looked at this and said, well, how many witnesses do you have but this is how they determine how long the trial is going to take. Is they sit down, they say, how long do you think it's going to take you to present your case? Some of them might say, yeah, I mean, our experts, it's going to take us a couple of hours if we can agree. And so it's hard to explain. Okay, so imagine this: you've got two attorneys. They can agree. Yes, I'm going to allow this witness in. I can have questions for them. Can we agree that on this doctor's voir dire? So what they'll do is they'll voir dire the doctor before they get into trial, and that saves a whole bunch of trial. You also have to understand, if I'm not mistaken, there is no jury there. This is a bench trial, so this is completely different. She went down. No, she might have. I don't know. I mean, that could be, anything is possible. But the judge has set aside a certain amount of time. You don't have to worry about bringing in a jury. They can agree on certain aspects of it, like these are our witnesses. Will you agree that this witness, he's qualified in all the right ways? Sure. Those kinds of things, they can speed up a trial quite a bit. So that's pretty much why it's moving really fast. I mean, an attorney could tell me that I'm wrong, which is always possible because I'm not an attorney.
57 seconds.
We're going to call Clayton quickly.
Oh, and here comes Clayton Eckerd. Ooh, buddy. As being sassy. Yeah, he is. Shizzy explained it very well.
Clayton, I'm going to be lightning fast. State your name to the court.
Clayton Eckerd.
Did you participate and sign the pretrial statement that we provided to Judge Monta?
Yes.
Are there
What is this? Try this again. So why was she seeking benefits before the baby was born, or at least far enough along to DNA testing? No, it wasn't that she was seeking benefits. She wanted Clayton to pay her money. She wanted to claim that she was pregnant. You have to keep in mind that she's done this prior to Clayton 3 times before with other men. She's got, what she does is she hooks up with them. She claims that she needs a protective order because she's scared of them. And she'll usually get a protective order because, they want to make sure that somebody's safe. She'll harass them constantly, and then claim that she's pregnant, and they'll pay for, getting a doctor, they'll pay for tests. And she's basically sucking money out of them, and then she dumps them to move on to the next target. Yeah, and it's, these guys are going, what the hell did I just get into? And Clayton was the first one to actually stand up against her. Now, I do have it somewhere. There is a video of her and him in a trial where she's standing there rubbing her belly, making sure that she moves the camera down to show that she's rubbing her belly, and she doesn't realize that she's on camera. I mean, well, she knows she's on camera, but she does not realize it's being recorded. And then she starts shifting her baby bump from up above towards her boobs and pushing it down and readjusting it. And it's really creepy video to watch. But during that particular trial, Clayton did not have an attorney. But he did such a good job that there were people that were reaching out. They were saying, hey, you need to get an attorney because you're making some good arguments, but an attorney is going to be able to help you. And that's whenever he ended up going out and getting an attorney. Just because she wanted him to date her, or she was going to have the babies, as she claimed she was having twins within 4 weeks of getting together. Yes. She blew her own reputation. Well, all over her face. I mean, sorry.
Are those statements true and accurate?
Yes.
Are we asking the court, in light of our very limited time today, to consider our pretrial statement as part of your testimony today?
Yes.
How did you meet Laura?
All right. So you notice what he did right there. If you didn't catch it, I want to play that for you again so you understand what he just said. So part of his pretrial statement We're just going to accept that all as truth, and we're going to move on because we have a limited amount of time. Listen to it again. It's very important.
Like to disconnect, you may. If you'd like to stay and listen, you absolutely.
Trial statement is part of your testimony today.
Yes.
How did you meet Laura?
Here it is.
Wait, I'm going to be
Listen to
lightning
this really
fast.
closely.
State your name to the court.
Clayton Eckerd.
Did you participate and sign the pretrial statement that we provided to Judge Monto?
Yes.
Are those statements true and accurate?
Yes.
Are we asking the court, in light of our very limited time today, to consider our pretrial statement as part of your testimony today?
Yes.
Okay. So what they did is this pretrial testimony that he had was a testimony that he made under oath. Maybe he made it in front of the judge, might have been recorded, but he made a testimony basically explaining all the facts of the case, and which would be the testimony that you would usually see brought into the case. Yeah, saves time. That's all it is.
How did you meet Laura?
Laura targeted me on LinkedIn. She asked to do real estate. We ended up exchanging contact info. She became flirtatious, sent me a provocative photo. I told her to come over, and then we saw homes the next day.
Did you have sex with Laura?
Absolutely not. I've said time and time again, she performed oral on me twice. That's it.
Have you heard two other versions about what happened?
Absolutely. Many versions. She's claimed that she was raped by me. She also claims I was too high to remember what happened that day.
I'm going to repeat what you just said. She claimed she was raped by you and that you were too high to remember.
That's correct.
Were you too high to remember?
Well, that's incorrect. I remember every single thing from that night.
Did you rape her?
I did not.
You stated that she gave you oral sex twice that evening. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Where did you complete?
Her mouth both times.
What happened the second time?
She ran straight to the bathroom.
Were your fluids ever down there, as Laura has claimed?
No.
What happened the next days?
The next day, we went and saw houses. I told her that I crossed a professional boundary. I told her that that was a one-time thing. It would not happen again. She became very agitated at that point, was crying, and asked for me to give her a chance.
But hang on for a second. She came over to your house. She gave you oral sex twice. The next day, you told her you weren't interested in her?
That's correct. I rejected her, yes.
And then 4 days later, what happened?
4 days later, she started making claims that she could possibly be pregnant.
But hang on. Did your penis ever go inside her accidentally, inadvertently, or anything like that?
No.
You're a public figure. You're the Bachelor. That's why everyone's watching today. Are you embarrassed to say who you've had sex with, Clayton?
I think I'm the last person to lie about who I've been intimate with.
Did you have penile vaginal sex whatsoever?
No, absolutely not.
Has that been your story since day one?
My story's been consistent since day one.
I'm going to show you exhibit number 3. Put that up on the screen. Thanks, Isabel. Did Laura start communicating with you more after she said she thought she was pregnant at 4 days?
Yes, nonstop. She sent me over 500 emails and text messages, 13 different phone numbers.
13 phone numbers?
Phone numbers.
500 emails. 500 emails, 13 different phone numbers that she would text him from. Whoa. It's good he got legal help. Yes, exactly, Jam. That is correct. It's a good thing he got legal help. Legal help. Underestimating someone coming at you legally isn't wise. I believe the same is true for Jeremy Hills. Started to think he needs more power legally, maybe high profile. I think that Shockett is doing a wonderful job. I think Shockett is holding his own on this one. He needed a restraining order against her. He needed a lot of things against her, but she had a restraining order against him. She's nuts. Yeah. Wow. I didn't think I've ever written someone 500 emails in my life. I'm with you, Alfie.
How many messages?
Over 500.
Exhibit 3, is that a sample of those texts and emails that were shown to Judge Gail
Texts and
Ketsis
emails.
in the injunction against?
Okay, so those were texts and emails. So that makes a little much more sense. I've probably sent more than 500 to my wife. So let me rewind a little bit back here.
Is that a sample of those texts and emails that were shown to Judge Gail Ketsis in the injunction against harassment hearing from November 2nd, 2023?
Yes.
Move to admit Exhibit 3, and Judge, you already took notice because you watched the videos.
I assume no objection.
No objection.
E3 is received.
At some point, did she start calling your mom, who's in the courtroom?
She started reaching out to my parents. She started reaching out to my work organizations. She started reaching out to people, women that I talked to in the past. She went for everybody.
Was she claiming anything in particular?
She was claiming that I was, a deadbeat that's not supporting her through her pregnancy.
Well, hang on. It was more than that, Clayton. It was a deadbeat who was not supporting her through her pregnancy of what?
With twins.
Twins.
Yes.
Did she reach out to the Sun magazine?
She did, yes.
Oof.
Did she ever tell you what genders the imagined twins were?
Boy and a girl.
Did she ever tell you, drawing your attention to some motions Laura filed, and for purposes of attorney's fees, she filed a motion to communicate on August 8th, a motion to compel communication on August 23rd, and August 29th, a few days later, an expedited motion to communicate. And then shortly thereafter, she filed an order of protection, correct?
Yes.
And you're aware that she's filed orders of protection against two other individuals seated in the back of the courtroom, correct?
That's correct, yes.
They are on the left.
Mhm.
Yes. Well, my right, but yes, or left.
Thank you. Greg Gillespie and
Michael Mancini.
I want to look at exhibit number 7, Clayton. Is that a true and accurate copy of email communication between you and Laura from July 1st, 2023?
Absolutely, yes.
You received it
Yes.
and she sent it? You
Yes.
heard her testify with Ms. Arena from my office, or excuse me, with Mr. Gingras, denying that emails exchanged were from her. She seems to be blaming, I guess, Greg Gillespie for faking her emails. You remember her testimony?
Yes, she said that, but nothing she says is true.
She's actually sent you emails with videos attached to them, and you've responded back to them,
That's
correct?
correct, yes.
All right. Specifically, exhibit number 7. I think you
Yeah,
stated
it
that it's
is.
a true and accurate copy. I think the caption, I'm going to try to read it on the caption, the top. I think it says, "The final opportunity to consider abortion." You remember getting this from Laura?
Yes.
Move to admit exhibit 7.
Objection.
Yeah, no objection, Your Honor.
7's received.
Further down in that email, Clayton, and this will get awkward, but further down in that email from July 1st, which was weeks after the alleged encounter, Laura references her tight vagina. Why is that both uncomfortable and relevant?
Because she's stating that if I would have felt how tight her vagina was, I might change my mind, which is her stating that I never penetrated her. We never had penetrative sex.
Wait, the exhibit that the court just received has Laura saying that her vagina was tight as if you hadn't been in there before?
That is correct.
Well, had you been in there before?
I had not, no.
All right. She also sent you communications in exhibit number 7 talking about wanting to have sex with you during a trial week. What was that about?
She said that she would be the safest person to have sex with since she was already pregnant.
But hang on for a second.
What?
She told you she wanted to have sex with you because she was already pregnant?
That's correct.
How did you feel when you read that email, Clayton?
I've been sick. My stomach, all of this has made me sick.
Did you feel like she was trying to trap you?
Absolutely.
You heard the testimony with
Yeah.
Dr.
Daddy would,
Medshow, concerned that Laura was on IVF medication trying to get pregnant. Is that consistent with those concerns?
Yeah, I believe that she was taking medications.
I'm going to show you exhibit number 6. And let me restate that question. You heard my question to Dr. Medshow about IVF medications, which are used to cause pregnancy, and you share concerns that she was using those to trap you. Is that correct?
Absolutely, yes.
All right. Exhibit number 6, Isabel. Exhibit number 6 is another email dated June 28th, 2023. Is that a true and accurate copy of the correspondence between you and Laura?
This.
You remember reading this?
I remember reading this.
You remember reading it on June 28th-ish when you received it?
I do, yes.
And the title of this, can you read the title of this out loud for the court?
Having the baby if I don't hear back tonight.
Having the baby if I don't hear back tonight. Move to admit exhibit 6.
Any objection?
No objection.
6 is received.
Thank you. I'm going to show you exhibit 11. Did Laura send you ultrasounds during this time period?
Yes, she did.
Is exhibit 11 an image of an ultrasound you received from Laura?
Yes.
She's going to claim that she didn't send this to you, but how do you know this came from Laura?
Because I was interacting with her from that same email address. I also took a screen record showing that it was from her email address, and that's where all my other communications have come from her.
Real quick, so on exhibit number 11, this one says, the caption on it says, ultrasound video proof, correct?
That's correct.
And the signature block on there in the picture is the exact same signature block and picture from the other email, which is also not favorable to Laura, which is not
Fiverr.
hers,
Yep.
correct?
So that's
Move
right.
to admit exhibit 11.
Any objection?
No objection.
On exhibit 11, well, do you know where the video came from on exhibit number 11?
Yeah, from a YouTube video from 7 years ago.
YouTube video from 7 years ago?
Holy cow. Is there a flux sighting? That's awesome. I love having flux sightings.
On that, this is the one that says smile, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one says GE.
No, this one's a different one. Yes.
Okay, because how many are there? How many ultrasounds have you seen?
3.
Okay. This one, I think on the caption says, and here's my 100 million% real ultrasound.
Yeah, a lot of zeros. Yeah.
You remember? I don't know if my math is right on that. Do you remember receiving that?
Yes, I received it.
Yeah, he went back immediately to correct that. Great lawyer. Too bad Gingras didn't pay any attention then or now. Hey, Flux, my doll. Oh, you know what? I just realized. I thought I had you in here as a mod. You should always have been a mod over here. Let me go in here and fix that. Let me I think I do have you on there as a mod. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I do. Nope, I didn't. Damn it. There we go. You should always have been in here as a mod. Doggone it. Flex is one of my old homies.
Or yes.
Court already admitted it. I'm going to show you exhibit number 28. You recall receiving this ultrasound?
Yes, I saw this from Bonnie.
Well, that
Platter.
way I know
Okay, I'm
it's
going to be real
you.
clear about this.
There's so many
Miss
fakers out there.
Owens just testified that she did not use this ultrasound in a court proceeding, but it was actually admitted as an exhibit by Laura through her counsel at the February 2nd, 2024 deposition of you, correct?
Correct.
All right.
Yes.
That video deposition of you, have you seen that recently?
Yes, I have.
Where did you see the video deposition of yourself?
It was posted on YouTube by either her counsel or herself.
Wait, Laura or her counsel posted your video deposition on YouTube?
That's correct.
Oh,
How many paternity tests did you take, Clayton?
3.
I'm going to show you exhibit number 36.
3 paternity.
You know what? I'm going to
tests.
skip past that. That was the Dr. Medkill's. I'll skip past that. Well, you know what? Real quickly, how many versions of the HCG test have you seen?
2, I believe. Yeah, the 102 and 100.
One with
2000.
more digits on it?
Yes. Yes.
All right. I'm going to show you exhibit number 46. Would you agree that exhibit number 46 or
Well, because there's very little that he can question him or object on. That's the thing.
attorney's fees is a
Laura
blog
Owens
from Mr. Gingras where he acknowledges his client faked some of the science tests.
Yes, that's correct.
I'm going to show you, to move this along, exhibit number 55. Exhibit number 55 was right before your March 1st deposition, or right before, excuse me, Laura's March 1st deposition. Actually, did she show up at her earlier deposition?
No, she didn't.
And the court
Oh.
ordered her compelled to attend, and we're still waiting for the court to order on attorney's fees. Is that correct?
Correct.
Ooh.
But at her, right before, what happened a day or two related to exhibit 55, a day or two before your deposition?
She threatened to extort me to the tune of $1.4 million
Whoa.
in order for me to drop the deposition and the case entirely.
Wait a minute. She sent you a letter a day before trying to get out of the deposition?
Yes, she threatened me.
Threatened you with what?
Monetary means.
Is everything that we've talked about today so far, other than the YouTube videos, which are more recent, is everything addressed in prior pleadings already before Judge Mata?
Yes.
Really quickly, for attorney's fees
Ooh.
purposes, exhibit number, well, let me get in a few exhibits real quick. Exhibit 29, 37, and 59. These are the medical records from pursuant to subpoena from doctors for Planned Parenthood, Dr. McCool, and Dr. Higgins. We moved to admit they've all been,
I'm sorry, you said 37.
correct that, sorry, 29, 37, and 59.
Any objection?
Not to those. Did we talk about exhibit
Yes,
54
it
yet?
is.
Hold on one second. 29, 37, and what was the other one, Mr.
59.
59 are received. We'll talk about that one after counsel.
Damn. I mean, he's just like shotgun, just do, 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 do. And, I mean, machine gunning this stuff out. He knows exactly the information he wants to bring in. He knows he's limited on time. He's getting this put in as being on the record. And Gingras is sitting there scratching his nuts going, what just happened?
Then I'll go back. It was exhibit number 55, which is the letter that Laura sent you.
But you also have to remember that Gingras is out of time. All right. So keep this in mind. Gingras is completely out of time. That means he can't cross-examine him. Now, he can object, but he's not going to be able to cross. Now, the judge, I can't remember, but I don't think the judge allows him to give any cross, or if he does, it's like 2 questions or something.
To sue you for $1.4 million before the deposition. Move to admit.
Now that one I'll object to. That's a Rule 408 settlement offer, Your Honor. He's offering to prove that the claim's not valid. That's absolutely inappropriate.
Judge, just
Over objection, the court's going to receive it for the purposes of attorney's fees only. Counsel, you have run out of time.
I'm out of time.
You're out.
Okay.
So you can go sit back down.
And that was it.
Okay, so counsel, what exhibit were you asking me about?
This is a dumbass.
You said has something been moved.
54.
But here's going to be the beautiful thing, because I have a new letter. Oh, you know what that means. So buckle up, because here it comes. It's going to pinch.
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. With Shizzywhiznut.
An open letter to Laura Owens and attorney Greengas. When spin meets felony, the Laura Owens delusion. Well, dear Laura, you know when most people face a felony indictment, they call a lawyer? You called Adobe Premiere and your therapist, or maybe you just held a seance with your delusions and called it legal strategy. Well, let's not pretend that this is your first time tap dancing in front of a judge while spinning half-truths like a Walmart Black Friday sale rack after combining through your official court transcript. Yes, the actual one, not a blog summary or one of your self-congratulatory Facebook posts. We've got your own effing words to thank for this letter. You know, the ones you swore under oath, the ones you didn't bother editing with cross dissolves and paste pastel fillers. So let's buckle up there, Buttercup. Let's start with this gem from page 22 of your transcript. Laura Owens, I suffered from panic attacks, like actual panic attacks, and there were times that I would just, like, my memory would be completely gone. Well, it's fascinating. Your memory vanishes at convenient times, like when you're asked to explain false filings or the alleged tampering of evidence, but the moment you need to recall a 30-minute Zoom call in vivid detail from 2 years ago, suddenly you're Rain Man with a photographic memory. Amazing how your brain fog clears up when it benefits you. We also have some more great hits from transcript, page 41. Owens, I didn't think the changes were relevant. They didn't alter the meaning, just cleaned it up a little. Oh, so you were just giving the evidence a spotting, a little exfoliation, maybe a facelift. The judge asked for the truth, and you served up the filtered Instagram version of reality with the saturation turned up and the accountability completely turned off. And then there's this flaming garbage fire on page 56 of, I was under so much pressure. I thought I was helping by making it easier to understand. Laura, sweetheart, this isn't Cliff Notes. It's evidence in a felony case. You're not a content creator. You're a criminal defendant. But sure, let's pretend you were doing a little community service by gaslighting the judiciary and helping like an arsonist who lights a fire and then offers to hold the hose. But let's move on to the spin cycle you and Mr. Greengas threw on the high heat from page 64. Greengas, Your Honor, we maintain Miss Owens acted with nothing but honesty and transparency throughout the course of these proceedings. Stop. Just stop. If honesty and transparency includes tampering with exhibits, replacing videos with edited versions while claiming the originals were corrupted, telling the court the videos were never used when your own metadata says otherwise, then Greengas, I'd love to see how you define obstruction. And more of this bullshit from Greengas, Captain Obfuscation himself from page 90. There's no concrete proof Miss Owens intended to mislead the court. No concrete proof. You mean aside from the swap videos with scrub timestamps, the missing originals you can't locate but somehow found time to remix, the pristine new versions with edited audio, framing, and titles that only you had access to? Well, that's not a lack of intent. That's a highlight reel of tampering. If you were any more caught, you'd be a fish in a frying pan asking the chef for your pronouns. But then this part, Laura, where you truly shine, was from page 93. I did think the edits mattered because the substance was still there. It's not like I changed what I said, just how it looked. Let me translate for anyone still trying to make sense of that nonsense. I didn't think tampering with court evidence was a big deal because I liked my version better. You didn't alter the facts, just the visual narrative, the framing, the presentation. You mean like when news outlets clip out of context a quote and cause a scandal? We got it. Integrity in action. So now let's pause for a brief PSA. Editing exhibits for court submission without disclosing said edits equals felony tampering. It's not a technicality. It's not a misunderstanding. It's not a Zoom fatigue. It's a crime. And then over some more comic relief, we get this line from page 112. I don't really understand the text side of things. I thought exporting a file just refreshed it. All right. You accidentally refreshed your way into new file names, new metadata, missing original files, altered sequences, and lost integrity. You didn't refresh, Laura. You scrubbed. You disinfected the truth like it had COVID. And then you told the court it was just a routine rinse. Sort of like Listerine that you gargled down your throat and then, spat out. You're not tech illiterate, you're tech malicious. And even if you were that ignorant, congratulations, you just pled guilty to felony level incompetence instead of perjury. Fantastic trade-off. Let's also not ignore the part where you blame the software glitches for the missing footage. Owens from page 119. I think Adobe might have overwritten the footage or something like that. I'm not sure. I'm not a tech person. Yet somehow you were tax savvy enough to crop color grade audio strip the replacement videos with surgical precision. Girl, Adobe didn't commit perjury. You did. Stop blaming the software. Your credibility isn't crashing due to bugs. It's crashing because of your own greasy, nasty fingerprints all over the file trail. Now, let's not forget about this moment of utter absurdity on page 132, where Owen says, I thought the court reported a perfect cleaner version. The original had some noise. Yes, because cleaning up noise means cutting out whole conversations, adjusting what people said, and replacing courtroom evidence with your own edited highlight reel. That's not denoising, that's fraud with a fade in. And Gringus, your entire role in this circus has been to shuffle papers while trying to Jedi mind trick a judge with, wish you didn't mean it. Meanwhile, Laura is in the background like a toddler with a crayon and a death wish for wallpaper yelling, I fixed it. You're not legal counsel. You're the world's most expensive spin doctor for a patient with a felony grade case of terminal victimhood. Here's more from Gringus on page 146. There was no clear evidence Miss Owens intended to cheat the court. Well, no clear evidence except the altered files, the chain of custody gaps, the sworn declarations that contradict your own emails, the metadata that deleted Slack messages, the refusal to admit fault, the fact that literally nobody else had access to the files but you. Other than that, totally unclear, right? Let me help you out with a rebrand, free of charge. Not disability advocate, not wronged whistleblower, not tech victim. This isn't justice reform. This isn't disability rights. This isn't a noble crusade. It's Laura Owens editing her way into federal prison, one frame at a time. And your job, Mr. Gringas, is apparently to stand next to the smoking crater and argue the fire never happened. But here's the truth. Laura Owens is not a misunderstood advocate. She's not a victim of albiism or tech oopsie. She's a walking, talking, PowerPoint clicking, self-owned machine. Her defense is held together with duct tape, bad Adobe transitions, and the fantasy that the court system works like a TikTok algorithm. Reward the most dramatic version of the truth. Greengas, I hope you're billing hazard pay. Representing Owens is like being the PR agent for a fireworks show that was accidentally scheduled indoors. Every time she opens her mouth, instead of swallowing, another blaze needs extinguishing. She might be able to spit it all out. And from this transcript alone, your fire extinguisher's out of foam, pal. Not out of men, but it's definitely out of foam. Well, guess what? Courtrooms aren't Twitter. Judges don't care about your follower count. Felony charges don't vanish just because you put on a cardigan and cry about the narrative drama. You lied, you altered, you tampered. And now the only fresh you're going to experience is whenever the Department of DOC website updates your inmate profile. See you at sentencing with mockery and malice. Shizzywhiznut. Velcro shoes, double-strapped helmet is been buffed and feeling mighty wet right now. Riding the short bus straight through your testimony. Oh, baby, yeah.
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. With Shizzywhiznut.
Yeah, baby. I love it whenever a plan comes together. It makes it so much more enjoyable. It really does. Oh man, that helmet is. I still haven't broken it in. You love the Badger? Well, that's my icon. That's what I use. That's what I use. See, it's a honey badger. Yeah, yeah. See, honey badger. You know, you probably haven't heard that song, have you? It's gonna get me a copyright, you know that, right? But because see, the past week, I've changed my distribution company, and in doing so, every single song, every damn song that I've done on my YouTube channel, every song that I've created is getting me copyright strikes. So I'd be paying myself, and I keep sending I have to do it at least. Oh God, how many times have I had to do it? Geez, I can't even begin to tell you. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I've had to go through and I've had to argue that I own my own music. It really sucks in the worst possible way. Because I'm sitting there going, listen, I wrote the damn song. I know that it's fine. I'm not arguing with myself at all. So come on, guys, stop striking my shit. Ah, but of course they're going to strike it again and again and again and again. I wanted to show you the one that I did for this, because I put one together that I thought would work out really well for this particular song. And of course, I've got this one right here. Yes, this is the one. I will show it to you right now. And I actually have this song on the album Greenbacks and Griff Tracks. It's pretty cool. It's pretty damn cool. So I put this together just because, well, I needed to have a good logo, and I was like, let me get it. He's have to hand it to Shizzy. He's taller than Zelensky. What, by a couple inches? Come on. Stop teasing me. Stop teasing me. It's only because I'm so short. Hold on, let me show this to you. So this is the video. This is the video to end all of them right here. This is cool. You gotta admit, it's awesome.
rage on blast. I'm coming for blood, you can't last. You wanted a fight, now you'll see the wrath of Shizzy unleashed on thee. I'm Shizzy, mean and raw. You cross my line, one, that's your flaw. I don't back off, I don't retreat. I'll bring the pain, make you taste defeat. You thought I'd fold, now I attack. Going for the nuts, no holding back. Claws out sharp, teeth in deep. I'm the nightmare that won't let you sleep. Retreat. You push too far, now it's too late. I'll wreck your pride, I'm sealing your fate. You step to me, I'll tear you apart. No mercy here, I've got no heart. You woke the beast, now face the wrath. Shizzy badgers, clearing the path. Unleashed on me. This ain't a game, this ain't for show. You crossed the line, now it's time to go. I don't back down, I take the crown. I'll crush you hard, leave you broken down. Pop a nut, rage on blast. I'm coming for blood, you can't last. You wanted to fight, now you'll see. The wrath of Shizzy unleashed on thee. You'll feel my rage, you'll know my name. I'll leave you ruined, wrecked in shame. Shizzy badger, I don't play nice. Cross me again and pay the price.
Oh, and I'm gonna leave you guys with two songs. I got the Florida Grin because this one I had so much fun doing. And if you know the story behind it, well, if you know, you know. But I'm gonna leave with two songs. You guys have a wonderful night, and I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. Here we go, Florida Grin.
You ever seen someone beg with more GoFundMe's than teeth? Welcome.
But you know what I have to do with this? We got the Badger fees, and that deserves a
Dog will hunt.
oh yeah. I got a nice super chat. You know it, there, sweetheart. Thank you so much, K Mac Queen. I couldn't let that go. Couldn't let that go. Thank you so much. That's for you. Let's get to it. Oh yeah.
to Florida, where your trauma's fake, your PayPal's linked, and your gums wave hello before you do. Welcome to the swamp.
I got a wish list full of lies and a smile full of rot. Hustling trauma like it's all I got. Tear ducts dry, voice crack like a meth pipe. But I'll cry on cue if the super chat's right. Use the kid's illness like it was a sale. Tears on tap, but the truth turned pale. Cameras off, play the broken card while receipts vanish faster than her EBT card. That Florida grin ain't got no bite, just gums and lies begging for a fight. That Florida grin, dry as sin, gaping hole where the teeth should have been. That Florida grin, voice full of gravel, can't sing a note, but she sure can babble. That Florida grin, broken bowl, pitch the child's pain just to stack that gold. That Florida grin
Sounds like
like a frog with a throat full of gravel and a brain full of smog.
That Florida grin.
Wider than sin, saying I'm the victim with a double chin. That barn door fun, vapor and fog, like trying to fix a roof with a blog. Sick kid used like a marketing tool while you played the saint and broke every rule.
No receipts, no shame, no proof in sight, but plenty of tears on Facebook Live at night. Coughing like she's got a demon inside, but that voice just croaks cause her soul done died. That Florida grin.
Weapon of choice, used it to scam with that 3-pack a day voice.
That Florida grin.
Don't trust that face, she's the only mugshot with a toothless case.
That Florida grin.
Ain't got no bite, just a meth rattle growl in the dead of night.
That Florida grin.
Can't sing a note, but begs in a pitch that can strip a boat.
That Florida grin.
Child on the slide, use their pain for a TikTok ride.
That Florida grin.
Don't need a crown, it's the face of a queen who let decency drown. She said, y'all haters don't know my walk, but we saw the waddle and it's bullshit talk. You begged for a barn, you begged for a gate, you begged while a child bore the weight. Go fund mystery, claiming she got chased by a ghost in the ministry. Can't show a doc, but she'll show you her cash app. And if you ask questions, she'll call that a trap. So if you hear the sob and see the smirk, lock your wallet, she's on the lurk. Voice sound like you gargle roof and tar, and somehow you still started a cash bar. It ain't the struggle that stinks, it's the scam behind that Florida grin.
Like I'm living rent-free in your heads again, huh? I mean, if you're gonna spend your days obsessing over me, you might as well start calling me something respectable. Maybe Daddy Shizzy, or better yet, Papa Nut. Who's the grown-up here? Oh right, it's me. Let's go. Call me Daddy, yeah, that's who I am. Running your mind's like a master plan. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, take your pick. I'm rolling in your thoughts while you still act sick. Call me Daddy, it's what you mean. While you chase the crust and I take the lead. Living rent-free, that's my name. Go ahead, say it, put some respect on your name. Man, I'm too old, well here's a surprise. I'm the one with the brains while you're stuck with the lies. You act like you're experts, but here's the reality. I'm the one controlling your mental reality. So while you're out there trying to throw shade, I'm sipping coffee and you're feeling betrayed. You're mad, I got the spotlight, now it's my time. So why not call me Daddy or Papa with a rhyme? I'm the landlord and you're just the tenants, stuck in your headspace with no end to sight, no repentance. Call me Daddy, you know it's true. You'd be lost without me, stuck in the glue. Call me Daddy, I'm holding your mind while you're scrambling, trying to find what's behind. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, don't you see? You're living in my world now, I'm a VIP. Call me Daddy, just let it be. While you're trying to figure out your own identity. Oh, I see you're confused, trying to get it right. Spinning your wheels while I'm out of sight. You think you got it figured, but you got it all wrong. I've been running your mind so long. But sure, keep pretending you don't care. Keep saying you're done, but I'm still in the air. You got no choice but to bow to my name. Daddy Shizzy is here to own the game. You say you don't watch, but you're obsessed. Every word I say puts you to the test. Call me Daddy, Papa Nut, you know you should. Because I've been living rent-free, and you know it feels good. Shizzy Daddy, owning your headspace, and there's no escape. Good luck with that.
Now go